Now you need to be a rocket scientist. And when your check engine light comes on, that's game over. So show your car some love and give it the protection it deserves from Car Shield. Tell them Ice-T sent you. And remember, Car Shield cars go far.
Make the smart choice and protect yourself from expensive car breakdowns. Call now for a free and instant protection plan quote. It's only a matter of time.
All right, good morning.
800-998-7156. That's 800-998-7156.
Take a look at these charts.
800-998-7156.
Pain hits fast, so get relief fast. Only Tylenol Rapid Release Gels have laser drilled
All right.
medicine fast for fast pain relief. Tylenol Rapid Release Gels.
All right, guys. So what I have popped up on the screen right now is called shortsqueeze.com. So whenever there's a stock that is keeps going higher and higher, now we worry about those short sellers or whatnot. So for example, I think NEO really jumped high after their deliveries. What's it called? After strong deliveries, I should say. So XP and NEO had a high delivery expectation, and they met that. So what I do is, since it's already high, I mean it's still low compared to yesterday, or I think it beat yesterday. But so what I do is I type in the ticker symbol here. I go to shortsqueeze.com, I enter the ticker symbol, and then I look at the short interest in this. This is 0.4%. This says here increase or decrease -2%. So what this is telling me is that since NEO is on a tear right now, and it's a little too high for me at the moment, but I'll pop it up for you right now so you guys can take a look. Hold on real quick.
Is pretty clear based on what Biden has been doing and spending the bulk of his time on since becoming president-elect is contain the COVID-19 pandemic. Also, that broad economic aid package.
So as you can see, it's still low compared to where it was a couple days ago. I mean, this is the level of resistance right here. It's having a hard time breaking that, but it's already higher than. I mean, it's higher than yesterday's sales. So this is the level of resistance from yesterday. Couldn't pass that until after the market, after hours and pre-market, and then this seems to be the level of support right here. So it coincides with a couple days ago. So I'm liking NEO. I think a little too high if we look at the deviation. So right now for me, this is at close to resistance. So I do think this is going to jump high. Now I would get in here knowing that there's at least from where it's at to where it could go over here about $1 and change. So that's fine with me, knowing that we still have an upside compared to if we look at a couple days ago.
So the question becomes, what do you do after that? But priority number one has to be.
So NEO does have more of an upside, especially with good news. We know that NEO does great with good news. So but then again, they did fly high pre-market. So because they flew high pre-market, I mean they went up almost $3 pre-market, beginning at 1 in the morning, and right now it's pretty much just going sideways. Right now it found its own support pre-market right now. So we'll see. Like if this doesn't start to sell off a little bit before the bell rings, I'm gonna wait for that first candle to see what it tells me and see where everything else is. My indicators or whatnot, and then we can see. I'm not in a rush to jump right in on this. So that's NEO. So you can just go to Short Squeeze for stocks that are making, climbing higher and higher, and you can just, get an idea of what other traders might be looking at. as far as when it starts going high, what's the potential of it coming down. So remember, you always want to look at past price strength, you know. So we know that it has a lot of upside to get to this level right here. So we know it can reach that. It can go to 54 today. More than likely, it probably will. I mean, there's going to be some bumps in the road. But there's an equal amount of downside to this support level. So I would say if I was to get in anywhere around $50 and it drops down to 49, so that's not that bad of a drop. Although we don't want that, so we're going to try and engage this for a good entry. So I'm liking NEO still because there's more. Even though with the good news, it sold off hard yesterday, like most stocks did. But look what it did last time it dropped that. It came down to here to almost 49, and then in the next 2 days it flew up to 54. So you know, it's like $3 and change upstream right there in 2 days. Not the type of stock I would normally look at, but you know, we're doing the small account challenge, first day of the month, new month, see if we can go green. So yeah, so NEO is going to be on the charts as well. Now I was also looking at W. Now you know, there's also not much of interest in short selling this. As we can see here, this is 5%, so that's decent interest in short and shorting this stock. And then there's that 1% increase in it. So I like W as well. It did drop pretty hard yesterday, as you can see here. And if we take a look at the 5-day chart, so currently right now it's at resistance from a couple days ago. So we can see it broke out here on Thursday or Friday, and then today or yesterday it just fell off pretty hard right here. So this is the low of that day. So this is pretty much let me see here. So even though it fell off, there seems to be a decent amount of short sellers. So this might continue to drop before it goes up, or it can just pop. If we take a look at the 4-hour, so there we can see here it is close to that support level. And when it reaches that, then it tends to bounce up. But we're quite a ways from that. So we're closer to we're closer to the support than we are to the resistance. So not too sure, but so I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna put NEO on my first chart here, and I'm gonna put W on my other chart here. And then we'll take a look at DraftKings real quick, which was the third pick, and then NVAX, which was another pick. So I'm looking at 3, but I'll be switching back and forth with little interest in NVAX. But if we take a look at DraftKings real quick, so DraftKings did take a massive drop from its high of 64.75 when they did the whole second offering, diluting their shares. Never good news when that happens. Alright, with like about 5 minutes up at the bell, we'll finish up this briefing real quick. So this is DraftKings. So it does have the potential to go high. There's nothing but great news on this. I don't see anything bad on here. This is otherwise. There's nothing but good news from yesterday and days before. But so this is the 1 hour or the 4-hour 180 chart. So you can see that it found a level of support right here, and then it bounced at 47.44. So we're quite a ways from that, but you know, you're zooming in right here from where it's at right here. Okay, that seems to be the level of resistance, but it broke that prior days before, so it can break that today, and then possibly, you know, maybe come down to here to 59. Not maybe today, but and we take a look at the 5-minute chart. It is riding a little high, but knowing that it's been higher than this, it could possibly do that again. I'm just not in love where it's at right now. So if we take a look at the let me see real quick. Oop, hold on. Let me switch this to the 1 minute. So we're gonna go with the 1 minute today, instead of the 2. I want to see how that works out for me today. So it looks like yesterday this was the support 52.56, and it looks like it goes back to Friday's session as well. As it broke it, they came back down, and then the support level is pretty much the same. So 51.93 to 52.56, and currently it is above that resistance level right there. Of that of yesterday, right here. This is the high of yesterday. Let me go ahead and color code that. Put that green.
Just having an idea of what's happening inside of her body, and it just takes a lot of the burden of diabetes management.
Okay, so this is the high of yesterday. This is the resistance, and this is the support. After all this, it was all said and done. As you can see, it came back, reclaimed that level, then it went up, further up, then it tapped that 3 times before it decided to give up and then come back down, and then broke that level of support and then came back up, finishing around here. So it's in between. It was in between before the pre-market. Now it's above it. Not just that, it's already at resistance. So because this has no good news like NEO does, and it is trading a little higher without any indication that's going to continue to go. There we go. We see short sellers coming in. Alright guys, so that's what it is. So I'm going to have NEO on the first chart. I'm going to put NEO right here. I'm going to have that ready. I'm going to look at that. I'm going to have W on the second chart, and then DraftKings as my third option. And then NVAX, switching back and forth to NVAX to see where it's at. I can see NVAX on my watch list, so I can see right now it did go higher. It did reclaim that. We have a minute left, so let's just take a peek at that real quick. So you can see here what it did yesterday. It just flew off massively. I mean, look at that, man. I mean, oof, beautiful. So 143.97 is the high and resistance. It broke through that, and then it tested it 2 more times. So right now, so that's 143.97. It's currently at 150. So it is up. It is really up there, guys. And you know what though? It's actually closer to my sweet spot than the other stocks are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and unlink this. There we go. And I'm going to put NVAX in here. I want to keep an eye on that as well. So 4 stocks to look at, being that NEO is my forefront. I just want to see where NVAX goes. So I'm going to go ahead and get my screen ready here to buy for NEO. See, hopefully it let's go ahead and switch this over to NEO. There we go.
Interfering perhaps with the night of politics into the scientific questions about vaccine approval. What do we know?
Well, what we know is that Stephen Hahn, the FDA...
All my lines are underneath NEO right now, so I'm thinking about jumping in right here.
This is another case that illustrates the point, Jim, that Mary Trump made in her book this summer, which is that President Trump has the emotional makeup of a small child. He cannot handle delayed gratification. So vaccine development...
W took a huge nosedive. It dropped off close to the average. NEO looks like it wants to, not sure what it wants to do. I'm expecting for all these stocks to sell off first. It's like W is getting close to where I would like it to go. Although none of my lines are in play, it is above the 50 trend line, or just broke that. DraftKings is at oversold on the RSI, so it looks like DraftKings might make its first move. But then again, we have W bouncing off right here as well. So let's see what happens here.
What does that involve? That involves decisions by career scientists looking at the safety and efficacy.
All right, so DraftKings is still selling off. I'm liking the fact that it's going back to its support level from yesterday.
President Trump.
So it looks like we might go ahead and.
To permit that process to go forward. So Mark Meadows has summoned.
So W and
Commissioner to explain that process. Han wanted to.
And DraftKings.
Meadows said no. You need to come to the White House. Wouldn't surprise me if President Trump walked in on that meeting and tried to put more pressure on Han. But Han's made pretty clear he's going to follow this process.
And Vax is also selling off.
Is expected to.
And Vax is actually at the support level on my deviation lines. Looks like DraftKings is trying to make a jump.
I say February 10th, I meant December 10th.
So I'm gonna go ahead and see DraftKings real quick, and I'm gonna put Neo down here.
Shipment and distribution of those vaccines and beginning the process of vaccinating high-risk individuals and healthcare workers after that. Not fast enough for President Trump, but that's the way it's going to work.
So Neo's continuing to sell off. It's approaching the average. Looks like DraftKings wants to really take off here. I'm going to see if I get a starter. I want to wait for this candle. We still have about 20 seconds left. My lines down here are getting close. It is currently at oversold on the RSI. NVAX looks like it's about to take off, bouncing off of support. It's a little too high for me still. I'm not going to look at it real quick. We have W that tried to make a comeback, and it's selling off a little bit more now. DraftKings looks like it found its support right there at 51.97, so or 79, and it looks like DraftKings might be the first one I might look at to get in. It's like Neo's about to take off. Alright, so Neo for me is still just a little too high. Not too high, but high enough for me to not want to get in this real quick. I mean, if anything, it was already a support from yesterday. Not meaning that it won't break that. It can still break that.
And we kept going. So you only pay for what you use. Because at Dell Technologies, we stop at nothing.
If tomorrow's career success depends on how you get work done, why not choose a high school that gives you the right to?
Okay. So we're right now at support on the deviation lines. So I'm going to see if I go ahead and take a starter here. It's still at oversold in the RSI. So it's been an oversold since it opened. Alright, so I do think that this is going to bounce back. It's going to bounce up. I want to see what this candle's telling me. We have 30 seconds left on this candle. It's like NVAX found its support, so it might jump from where it's at right now. But you know, it still has ways to go to get to where it used to be. This was at 198 NVAX. Alright, so Neo looks like it just did a little mini fake pop. It's coming down to the average. I'm liking DraftKings right now. I'm going to go ahead and take a starter right here. So I anticipated the crossover from my skull in the bottom. Also knowing that we've already reached about 5 minutes into the market, and this is at oversold for that long of a period of time right now. So I'm anticipating this support level that it's going to bounce off of. That it's already been 5 minutes on the RSI, so this thing should pop up for me. Okay.
Experience the power of sanctuary at the Lincoln Wishlist sales event. Sign and drive off in a new Lincoln with 0 down, 0 due at signing, and a complimentary first month's payment. See yourself.
Welcome back to the mirror.
And know you're not alone, because this is not
All right.
just a mirror.
I'm gonna hold on to this for a little minute. So I'm at 51.46. Okay. I saw this massive sell-off here, as we can see the price strength on these candles. Okay, it found support at support. I anticipated the run, being that it was already oversold. for about 5-6 minutes.
My lips get so
So being that I got in at 54.46, I'm gonna go ahead and try and sell it right here, halfway. So at 52.18, hopefully it can reach going up there.
Guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked hands. Sunday night, a Georgia debate in a race that could decide who controls the Senate. Senator Kelly Loeffler, Reverend Raphael Warnock. Debate night in Georgia, Sunday night at 7, live on CNN.
Remember, this being the level of resistance from yesterday, or support, and this being the level of resistance from yesterday. Could it reach that today? It possibly can. It definitely can reach that today. Don't know how it's going to react though. I don't know. This is going to be a little mini stair step up and then a fake back down. But knowing that this is a decent stock, it has nothing but good news on it, I'm going to go ahead and hold on to this for a minute, as we are currently up right now as it starts to climb for us. So again, I'm going to take a base hit on this. All right, so I'm going to see how far I can take it. Right now, my pink line is underneath the candle, which is great. So I anticipated that run off of a couple things. Support, that it's been hovering underneath the oversold area for about 7 minutes now as it starts to climb back up. So I'm anticipating for it to come up to here, at least to the average. Okay, so to 52.06. So I'm going to go ahead and take my profits right there. Actually, I'm going to wait for it to come back up a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and take a base hit right there.
These are new standards, new statements from Republicans. Let's go to CNN's Manu Raju on Capitol Hill this morning. Manu, how are these GOP leaders justifying their silence now, given that 4 years ago they congratulated right away?
So we want this to squeeze back up to that average. I'm going to go ahead and take a base hit right there. So hopefully it can pop up back up for me. Sorry, it looks like it's going to come back down. So I'm going to hold on to this. Hopefully it can come back here to 52.07. So I'm going to go ahead and put a trigger for 52.07. So I'm going to sell this at 52.07 for a base hit. So that gives me about a $8-9 gain if it can pop back up there. Currently I'm still green for the time being as it starts to sell off. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and watch this real quick. So our level of support is right here. So this could be just, you know, a mini sell off. So I already have my trigger set. Take this little base hit. Hopefully it can come back up there. I really think it can.
Why is it not incumbent on Republicans to push back? And he said, look, there's a process playing out. We'll see the process play out. And at that point, the most important thing right now is there's actually a transition happening. But some Republicans, Jim, are pushing back. Mitt Romney, the frequent critic, has called.
So Neo's just stagnating right now. Let's take a look at NVAX. NVAX, same thing. W sold off massively. So I like where I got in. Okay, guys, I'm still liking where I got in. I anticipated that run. I could have sold it here. I'm going to take a base hit. Hopefully it starts to climb back up instead of go back down. If it does go back down, I mean, at worst case scenario, maybe it drops to like 51 and change, like 51.10, 51.12 as it reaches support already. This is support right now. As it tested it 3-4 times, it's testing it one more time. So let's see where this takes us.
Perfect for catching up with the relatives. Drop an instant car wash en route. Giving someone a helping hand. Or beating it for you. And putting your feet up after a long day.
See if this can bounce back up for us.
Or worse yet, your car needs repair. That could mean a big surprise auto repair bill. Those repairs are more expensive than ever. A new engine can be over $5,000.
Like Neo's starting to sell off. I kind of knew that was going to happen. That's like W found its bottom. It's like W found its bottom, ladies and gentlemen. So it's like W can climb back up. So this gives it about what? About another $2-3 that it sold off from yesterday. So it's like a $15-16 sell-off. It's a lot. It's a very huge interest in Wayfair selling off, guys. So I would still watch for that to see where it can go.
Knowledgeable money-saving representatives are available 24 hours a day. So if your car is 20 years old,
The volume is very light on W right now. The volume on DraftKings isn't that great either, but it's a lot greater than W, and NVAX has a decent amount of volume going on right now as well. And Neo has an obscene amount of volume going on as well. I mean, that's insane. All right, guys, so it's starting to climb back up. Let's see if we can reach our mark. We're taking a base hit. Okay, so I anticipated the run off of support. So two things. It bounced off this twice already. It's already close to my support line down here. I anticipated that run. My lines down here were about crossing. We already were in about 5-6 minutes in the oversold section. Then it climbed up past where I wanted to sell it at. I didn't have my trigger. I used the trigger to avoid slippage as much as I can. So let's see if I was too late for the party, or if we can climb back up there. Hopefully it can. So it's not that far away from what I wanna sell it at. So we're pretty close to it, you know. Let's see if we can let's see if we can climb back up there for us.
It's there when it matters most. We know that what we do helps more people get home safely. At 3M, we aspire to improve lives.
All right. We're looking good. We're looking real nice. We're looking real nice. Come on, you can make it. You did it already. So that's going to be my level of resistance right there, of where I have my trigger at. So hopefully it can reach that. So as of right now, this is the 5193 is a level of resistance. So it broke through that briefly. Actually, twice it broke through that. So I don't off this level right here. So let's see if we can get that. All signs point that it can. The level 2 is looking real nice. The cells, the tape is looking real nice. A lot of green going through there. So let's see if we can reach our level. Take this little mini base hit of about $8-9. Hopefully we can get to that point. We're taking the base hit. We looked at previous days sales. It sold off massively. We have nothing but good news on this. Going back days. We have the NBA about to start back up. Football is still going on. And, you know, so nothing but good news. Hopefully the good news coincides with the stock and people are excited, and this thing can start to climb back up as we're looking like it's going to. It's having a hard time breaking that level of resistance of 5193, but it did break it already twice. It went and jumped through that on this candle right here. So hopefully we can go ahead and get that little base hit real quick. So I might flatten this if I feel that it's going to have a hard time breaking that level of resistance.
Joining me now are Mark and Catherine Aarons from their hospital beds. Mark and Catherine, so good to have you on.
Alright, so we're real close to getting to my trigger. Hopefully it can get there. We have the yellow 21 moving average coming down. So hopefully that'll give it a little pop, a little spike back up there. So it's looking like it's having a hard time breaking this level of resistance. So I'm going to see if I maybe just flatten this as we're up already. It's real close to my trigger though. I mean, my trigger's at 5207. So I might just flatten this, guys. Take a little base hit, start the month green. It's having a hard time breaking that. So let's see if this can go up for us real quick. As we see it is, it's going up. Come on, you're right there, baby. You're right there, baby. You know you want to. See, it's having a hard time breaking that level of resistance. So as it takes a huge spike down right there, that is Hurtful, man. We still have 30 seconds left in this candle, so let's see what happens, man. Let's see if the bulls can weed out the bears on this candle for us, so I can go ahead and spike the fuck up there, as we needed to get up there real quick. We're still green for the day. Right now, we're still green. So we have about 12 seconds left for this candle to end. Hopefully, it can spike up for us, as our yellow 21 moving average is getting close to it. It's actually going through the candle. All right, so the next minute, let's see where it goes.
I'd rather people listen to the scientists and the experts than just listen to anybody there, because they're the ones that know what's really going on. And they're the ones that...
All right, guys, so it seems that that's the level of resistance that's having a hard time breaking. If I want to get out of this earlier and take a profit, about, what, $5-6 maybe, since we're doing the short. 52.01. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that. And then put it down to 52.01.
Not them more.
So I'm putting it at the height of that wick right there. Hopefully, we can get there. Now, I do think that the duration of the morning is going to pass that, but it's having a hard time breaking that. So I'm hoping that this is going to go back up there to that point, and we can walk away green.
Families and friends got together. We're heading towards another Christmas. What do you tell people as they consider having gatherings like that?
I would tell them to stay home, because you might go see somebody this year and they won't be here next.
That's the sad reality. Listen, Mark and Catherine, we wish you both, your families, a quick recovery, and I hope too that you get to see each other soon.
All right, so this just went completely the other way for us. Looks like the Bears are winning this one real quick.
Take care. Thank you. Just two faces of what's affecting this country. So many people in so many places in so many states. And listen to that advice there. Stay home. Well, CNN has obtained leaked documents from inside China that reveal the missteps and the chaos of that country's...
All right, so it's approaching the oversold.
The documents are from Hubei province.
It's like Wayfair starting to make its way back up. So is Neo.
They show authorities released
And NVAX is just stagnating right there, going sideways. It's pretty much living at the support area. Alright, so we went from positive $9 to negative $5 right now. So we're gonna hold this out. DraftKings tends to do this often. I'm gonna keep my sell trigger currently where it's at. I know it's gonna reach that. I don't care how far down it goes. It's definitely gonna reach that. So.
Sort of also contributed to the crisis.
See information in black and white.
I hold DraftKings long term in my E-Trade account, so I don't want to make this into a swing trade because I know it's gonna. I mean, we take a look at the upside of this. You know, I mean, this reached $60-something at one point. The high of yesterday was 54. The resistance was 52. So we're definitely in range of all of these things. On a good day, this thing can move to $53 on a great day. So there's nothing but good news on this right now. I don't see anything telling me that this is gonna go back down to the 40s or anything like that. I have some news that just came out right now. Let me see what this says.
Because of symptoms and contacts, but all pretty serious. Yet publicly that day, China reported nationwide about 2,500 new confirmed cases. The rest were downplayed in an ongoing tally of suspected cases. That meant patients...
Alright, so it says here the Michigan Joint Committee on Administrative Rules is set to bless the new regulation Tuesday, which could include online sports betting in the state. I mean, you know, there's nothing but good news on this on this stock, man. So I really think this is just short sellers, bag holders. You know, I might just be one if this doesn't reach my my level. Although I'm not really much of a bag holder trader. Not talking shit to anyone who does, you know. Just for me, if I can get rid of it the same day, I will. But I still like where I got in. So I got in at 51.40, 54. So about right.
Early December, the moment when COVID-19 first emerged in China. Startlingly,
So right about here is where I got in.
influenza cases in Hubei.
So basically, at the support is where I got in.
First known patients were infected with COVID-19. 20 times the number of flu cases compared to the same week.
Again, you know, so we try to sell this. We try to make our money within the first hour of the market, preferably the first 30 minutes of the market open. We find the right setup. This was the perfect setup. It went up for us. It didn't go as high as we would have liked it to go right in the beginning. It tested support resistance already 4 times. It could not break it, so I'm setting my trigger at that point there, giving me, if it reaches it, giving me about a $8-9, or at that level about a $6 to $8 gain right there. So I like the fact right now that all our lines are coming into play. So as you can see here, it came down to this candle. I should have sold it on this candle, to be honest with you. It wasn't that far away from where I wanted to sell it at. But we'll see what happens. Nothing but good news. I do think this might rally up. So, you know, worst comes to worst. You know, I'm holding it for an extra day or so. Knowing and only knowing that this has a potential to make a massive move back up because of that. So it's not like I'm holding a NEO. I would never hold NEO overnight. Well, I might because it's a good stock, but you know, there's the whole China thing with the government and everything. You know, kind of scares me, you know, with the sanctions and everything. So, you know, they can very well suspend trading. And then we're fucked if we're holding that. This being an American company, and I mean, online sports betting is becoming huge, and they're getting more and more support from people all over. DraftKings being one of the #1 contending online sports betting. So if I have to hold this for a little bit longer, then I would like to. Not a problem. If I'm going to do that, if I'm going to end up holding this a little bit longer because it's having a hard time getting back to this resistance level, then I'm going to make sure that I make more money, because essentially it becomes a swing trade. So I'm not going to take a base hit with this. I'll take a home run with this, only because I know that it does that often. I mean, this came from $68. It's been going higher and higher. Let me see if I can find that chart for you real quick. So we take a look right here. So we see here that it's down here. So it just recently found its support level. Okay, so it dropped all the way down here. It came back up, but this is the new support level down here. It reached that level as well, and it bounced back up. So we take a look at the 4-hour 180 chart. You know, I mean, look, it's $64. This is nothing. So I'm definitely gonna hold on to this. I'm gonna take a base hit today. If it doesn't reach my level of what I want to sell today, then you know, essentially just becomes a swing trade for me, and then I'll just up that higher. I'll sell that trigger higher. But I do think it's going to get up there for us today. Alright, so it looks like it's making its way back up. We're back to the green. We love the green. I love the green. Alright.
If these beautiful Idaho potato recipes are just side dishes, then I'm not a real Idaho potato farmer.
Alright.
Idaho potatoes, not just a side dish anymore.
We were so damn close to reaching that 5207 mark. So that's our level of resistance, man. It doesn't look like it wants to break that, or it's gonna break it, but later on. And I don't want to be into a trade. If I'm trying to make my money in the first 30 minutes to the hour, then I wanna make my money, man, quick. These little base hits, man. We buy, as many shares as we can, get in at a decent price. Everything told us to get in. We just boom, we get in. We make our money. We don't go for these long term, unless you plan to hold them long term. We don't want to hold it longer than we have to, So we take these little base hits. Then you start gathering all your capital. Put it away. You use that for the next trading session, which you made, include it into your daily right now. So this might drop a little bit before it starts to go back up. Hopefully it's another fake out. Hopefully the bulls can win this challenge as it's climbing up. Everything is telling us that this thing is going to go up. It's above the 50 trend line right here. All our lines are on the bottom. Hopefully it'll catapult that up. And our SCO is currently at overbought. But since this is a faster indicator than the RSI, I'm going to pay attention to my lines right here. So I'm not going to lower my trigger. I'm going to leave my trigger where it's at because I already lowered it once already, knowing that the fact that that was the level of resistance that was having a hard time breaking. So we are really close to that. Hopefully, see the level 2 looking like it wants to pop. So we have that going for us. So let's see if we can get that today, man. Let's see if we can start the month green. Let's see if we can do that, guys. So NEO W went from 245.89 to a high of 251.97. So man, that's a beautiful run right there. NVAX ain't doing shit right now. NEO is continuing to sell off. I knew that was going to happen with NEO with that massive run up pre-market because of their beating delivery expectations. I knew that was going to happen. So I'll be honest with you. I would love for if I get rid of this today, which is the idea to get to this level right here. I'm going to sell it basically at the average line right here. Because that's where it's been tapping. You see, it broke through it here. We have that long wick, but then it tested it, 2 more times. So that's my level where I'm going to sell that because it's having a hard time breaking that. So hopefully we can get to that. So the level 2 and everything is saying that it's going to do that. Hopefully we don't get no big, sellers coming in here to drop this motherfucker down. We want to get rid of it today. But like I was saying, I'm hoping that NEO can continue to sell off. I might look at this tomorrow if we get rid of this today. So let's see if we can do that. So I'm gonna give it another shot. All right, guys. So right now I'm currently green. I'm not as green. I'm not high as I would like to be green. Seeing that it's having that hard time breaking this level right here, which is a little far, like about 9 cents away from what I want to sell it at to make a decent base hit. So we'll see what happens with that, guys.
We saw yesterday that the numbers were above 8,500, so that is a big concern there. There is a plan in place to bring on more hospital beds if necessary, as the governor has pointed out.
All right, guys.
If you take a look at the stats coming out, Jim, across the nation, you have 47 states plus the District of Columbia that saw their COVID cases increase in November, according to Johns Hopkins University. They're also saying that they saw 34 states and Puerto Rico hitting at least one record as far as hospitalizations are concerned, at least one day.
All right.
In November.
Come on, you want to go up, man. Go up, mine. Go up, buddy.
For some dark weeks ahead.
Come on.
Keep in mind that when you look at the fact that Thanksgiving was just last week, it's going to be a week or so more before we see if there is any widespread community transmission and those numbers go up if people were not socially distancing themselves, not wearing masks, and all the things that we've been told over and over again that we need to do to get this virus to not devastate our communities, Jim.
So our support and resistance is at 5183, 5187 on the level 2. So it started to climb up for us, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I'm just gonna go ahead and flatten this. as it's having a hard time breaking that right there. We're very close to my trigger. Let's see if it can reach my trigger, guys. So I'm liking that. Hopefully it can continue to rise for us. We just need that little mini pop. Alright, I'm 7 cents away. It can do 7 cents. I'm 5 cents away. Let's see if it can hit it for us, guys. I might just flatten it right here if it continues to drop for me. Just take that mini base hit. So we're not that far away from my trigger. It's touched it before. It's very close to touch it again. So our level 2 is showing us that it could do that. So it looks like it might do that. Let's see if we can get to that point. So I'm gonna go ahead and flatten it. Nope. There we go. It's getting close to it. Come on, you some of my bitch. Come on, you some of my. Come on. Heartbreaker, man. Heartbreaker. You're so fucking close, dude. You're so fucking close. Come on, mother. You mother effer.
What's happening right now, Jim, is that people are hearing all these headlines, 94%.
Come on.
All that sort of stuff. All that is coming from the companies themselves right now. I don't question it, but that data needs to be evaluated by people who do this for a living. These FDA scientists.
All right, so there's a lot of red going through the tape. So I just might flatten this, guys. Take that base hit right here. I'm gonna give it like about 10 seconds. I want to see what the next candle opens at.
This is all the FDA scientists are doing. They're looking
5 seconds. Come on.
How did it affect one demographic of people differently than another group? Are older people going to get the same response? How long does the response last? They may not have all the answers to those questions, but that's what they do during this time. And those are the FDA scientists that then report up to Stephen Hahn. He's not looking at the data the way they are, even as commissioner.
Signs of coming here. Well, a new CDC study just released suggests the coronavirus could have been in the U.S. as early as December 13th. That's earlier than we've known. What more do we know, and what would that mean about its origins?
Yeah, so, on January 21st is when we had the first confirmed patient with COVID in this country. And even then,
I'm telling you, man, it's having a hard time breaking that level right there. So I'm going to sell it right there, guys.
And then there were some studies that came out of California over
oh my God.
autopsy studies that came and said, well, maybe it was closer to beginning of January when patients first started.
We're still higher from, so, hopefully it can just bounce off of this support right here. This being where it bounces off of to go back up there. Doesn't look likely, guys, so we might just end up holding this a little bit longer than we want to, being 706.
What it means and reminds us is that this is a highly contagious virus, that almost from the beginning when it started to transmit among humans in China, it was spreading around the world. People were getting on planes. We're a very global society. So an infection anywhere, Jim, an outbreak anywhere, is an outbreak everywhere. I think that's what this reminds us of.
Yeah, in a globalized world, no question. All right, CDC panel is meeting today. Recommend who should be first to receive coronavirus vaccine. Which are those groups? I mean, is there any real debate about this?
There is still some debate about this. I mean, some of the, like, what vaccine goes where is just going to be done for very pragmatic reasons. Can you store a super cold vaccine like the Pfizer vaccine or not?
All right, so if I have to hold on to this a little longer than I want, I'm just going to up my trigger, to be honest with you. So,
receive the vaccine first.
But it looks like everything is selling off. I mean, Neo just is taking a huge nosedive.
I've taken care of COVID patients because they were diagnosed with COVID after they came into the hospital. Very different than some of my colleagues who this is all they do. They're in and out of COVID units all the time. They're at much higher risk than I am. So yes, there are 21 million healthcare workers, but are they all the same? These are the sorts of decisions. Nursing homes.
So, 5155, that is the level of resistance or support that it's having a hard time. Well, I mean, it's bouncing back and off of that. So it broke, it came down here, went back up, and then it's having that hard time breaking that 5193 area right there. It broke it. It went to a high of 5199. I was like 3 cents away from getting to that level of what I wanted to sell it at. So I still feel comfortable with the price that I have it triggered to sell at. just by a couple of cents it was off. So I mean, it's frustrating that you think, man, it's just 3 cents, man, 3 cents. But these stocks can struggle to move just one, 2 cents. I mean, it's just the way it rolls sometimes.
Well, Jim and Sanjay knows the advisory committee on immunization practices has been meeting on this.
All right, so let's see if it goes for attempt number 5. Attempt number 5. See if it can bounce off this and go and attempt it one more time. If it reaches that level, if it's about 2-3 cents away from my trigger, then I will definitely sell it. Being that this is the hard, this is where it's struggling at 51.99. So 51.99 being the level that it's having a hard time breaking. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it right there because that's actually the pinpoint of the resistance. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna get rid of this and I'm gonna put it right here, 51.99. So it's the second time I lower it. So if it doesn't reach that, guys, I'm just gonna hold on to this for till tomorrow, and for it to reach that level. There's nothing telling me that this is gonna go down. Nothing at all. We got it on the perfect setup. We got it on the anticipation bounce off of the support, which it did. It went up and then it went down past that, and then it curled back up for us. And right now it's currently at the old support level. So it looks like it wants to break that support level again. And if it does it again, if it goes back to this area here, then I'm just gonna stop looking at it and just and wait for it to do a huge bounce. So I'm gonna give this another 15 minutes before I get up and go. Hopefully it can reach our level. I'm gonna start getting ready to go out for my jog.
There's a lot of planning that's ongoing right now.
States have to come up with those distribution plans on Friday. My worry, and perhaps this is a question to both of you, we've already seen, for instance, in the president's treatment when he himself became infected, that he had treatments available to him that aren't necessarily available to broad portions of the country. I mean, when you're talking about tens of millions of people on these lists, Sanjay, perhaps you first, how do you prevent...
Wayfair, man, that was a nice little run right there. Beautiful.
Up to the top of that list. We already see that with testing. I mean, if
that price action of this thing selling off was beautiful, man.
How do you prevent that, Sanjay?
Yeah,
I don't know if any of you are any of you looking at W?
People have even called me and
yeah, one of you
how can I, get a
looking at W.
quickly, for my family and things.
Did you
like
make
that.
money on W?
I don't know, Jim. The answer to that, I think that
yeah,
I think most people are going to try and be very diligent and ethical about vaccine distribution.
So, how many of you were looking at me? I mean, there's only 6 of you.
But I don't know. I think we're learning a lot as we go along in terms of how we're going to prevent those sorts of ethical lapses from happening.
No, no one got. Yeah.
We can prevent them altogether.
Yeah, that was a smart move, staying away from Neo. Even though at one point right here, I'm gonna bring up the chart real quick as we wait for this son of a bitch to get to our level. So, even look, this is the thing. So, if you were to get in here, everything told you to get in with our strategy. Say you get in midway here with slippage at 50.57, and then you ride that little mini wave up to here. That's not a bad little mini run right there. I mean, it's what, like 61. So about a 70-some move up right there. But the thing is this. If I'm watching Neo, I'm going to make sure that I have a decent amount of shares because I know that because of this massive going up right here, I knew that I was going to start to sell off. Even with great news, we know that you have to expect this thing to be like earnings when it comes to delivery expectations. It's exactly like that. So they beat it. Everyone came in early morning, got their money, and now it's just starting to tank right now where it's at oversold. So NEO is currently at oversold.
Recently is that typically you have a stock supply, right? You have a lot of extra doses of vaccine.
Okay, this is NEO right now. So being looking at our level of our RSI, we can see that it's been on oversold for quite some time now. So this is due for a bounce, guys. So yeah, so right now NEO is primed to get into. So any of you that have not traded yet, I can see some of you already took W, which is fantastic. No one has traded anything. You got into DraftKings with me. Who got into D&K with me? Who's currently holding? Who's sold? All right. Yeah. Yeah, you know, in hindsight, I should have sold it right there after the fourth attempt. I should have just hit flat, removing. And if I hit flatten, what that does for me is that removes the trigger and then sells my position. That's what that does. So, but we were just like 2 or 3 cents away from my trigger. So I look, see, this is NEO right now. So since NEO was already at oversold, I would have got in there anticipating on the next candle. I would have jumped in on the beginning of the next candle, being that's already been oversold from this point on. So from 705 all the way down to 713. So knowing that it's already been that long that it's been on oversold, I knew that it was going to bounce back up. So how far up is it going to go from this point? I have no idea. All I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and buy one more share of DraftKings since it's lower than what I bought it at.
We're trying to find a way.
So,
CNN Newsroom is brought to you by Rinvo.
there we go. So now we currently hold 15 shares, being this a small account challenge.
Your mission. Stand up tomorrow.
So I'm going to anticipate this thing to bounce off of this 5121, as it seems that that's the routine that it's doing. That's the so as you can see here, it bounces off here, goes up, bounce off here, went up. So let's see if it does that for us. Hopefully it does in the next 15 minutes. NEO is climbing up real nice. I knew that was going to happen. It was already overextended in the oversold area. It really was. So you know, we like the oversold stocks. So but you don't want to jump right in when it touches oversold. You want to give it time to see how long it's going to stay down there. This was down there for about 7 minutes. It was at oversold. It just kept climbing further down and down, and then now it's making its way back up. So I would have got into this because, I mean, if you look at NEO real quick, as we struggle with D, King, J for the moment. So everything's set to get in. Number one, it's at a beautiful, comfortable level at oversold. So that's telling me that all the bears for the moment have finished taking their money. All the short sellers. It was overextended down here. Our line crossed right here, so you would have got on the next candle, like I had mentioned, and you could have ride that wave up as it starts to pass our pink, our blue, and now it's starting to pass our yellow. So that is a fantastic move. I love that. And we can see W at that pop of what you would have got in here. Yeah, you would have got in right here. 247, and you would have just sold it maybe around here. So about a $3 upswing right there. So that's real nice, guys, right there.
So stop the bickering. Chicken bacon ranch. Bacon ranch. Jay's copying me.
All right, so our level 2 is still looking decent for DraftKings. I'm gonna hold on to this for a little bit longer. I'm not worried one bit. We've been down this road before, so looks like it's reached our level of support that that it reached previously, and it bounced up from there. So maybe it can do the same thing. Hopefully it does the same thing for us. Let's see if it can do that for us real quick. So I have a little bit more in here. Yeah, I got a lot of rest. I was tired, man. I came home and slept. I fell asleep right away. No, we haven't done. I haven't checked the oversold scanner, man. Nothing's been popping up. Nothing's been telling me that. That's you know. Neo's on there. Surprise, surprise.
Lets you keep your current benefits and gives you even more coverage at no extra cost. Call United Healthcare today to learn about the
Dunkin' Donuts is on there. Wow.
Most plans give you over $600 in credits.
Let's take a look at Dunkin' Donuts. I know they have some recent news on them. I really don't know what they move often. It's not like they move much, man. I mean, the chart is horrible. Not a fan of Dunkin' Donuts. Beyond Meat. Oh man, I have Beyond Meat in my watch list as a dollar mover. Dollar plus. Yeah, the Beyond Meats is not doing anything right now. Let's see. Man, it's selling off hard. But I like Beyond Meats. Beyond Meats, it moves, let me see. It reached the bottom of 138, and then I went to the top of 140. So this is Beyond Meat's chart for today, as you can see here. Sold off. I mean, it went a little further. It's back down here, as you can see. It's at oversold right now, as the scanner tells us it is. But price action is important, guys. You got a long, healthy red bar like this. And then a little mini pop of green like this, and then it's just this. All signs point to this coming down. When it opened that resistance, it went down to support, flew back up to resistance, and then it had a hard time breaking that, and it just never looked back as it starts to go back down and further down. So right now, I am liking this right here. I do think that it can continue to drop a little more. Because it was at the oversold RSI briefly. I mean, you can see here, like 3 minutes. So this might continue to drop, although it looks like it found its bottom right there, man. Right here. Looks like that is currently, and then looks like this is where it's having a hard time. Let me get rid of this line. I don't know why. Give me all those. Alright, guys. Looks like W is playing with the emotions today. I wasn't being greedy. I actually should have sold it right there. Being just 3 cents away. Seeing that it's having a hard time bouncing back up here. So I do think that it's going to end up going past my trigger today. I'm going to leave it there where it's at. I'm not going to remove that trigger. I'm going to let it stay there. Now, if this doesn't sell for me today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hold this overnight. Essentially become a swing trade. Nothing but good news on this. I own this long term in my account, my E-Trade account, so I am liking that. So I have no worries on this stock. It just sucks that we couldn't make our money in the first hour of the market, as I don't think it's going to start to climb back up in the next 8 minutes. Although it could, you never know. So our price is 51.54. So right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a crate alert here as I go out for my jog, and
as they always are with a new president and a new administration, but certainly
At
this
or
country
above.
facing
Yeah, at or
multiple
above.
crises at once. They're going to have a lot of work to do, and they
And we're going to
certainly
put 54
right
right there.
Thanks very much. CNN's chief business correspondent Christine Romans.
Alright, so this is starting to tank, guys. We should have took our money right there. I was just a few cents away from hitting it, and it's just going south for us. So I'm not that my level of my
So let me take it to the
exit strategy
those jobs are not back yet. You're still in a
for God, I'm having a hard time thinking of this word, man.
expiring. So student loan payments with interest is going to pick up again. You had forbearance
To stop the bleeding,
and other kinds of
I
loans.
have a better word. I'm not close to that yet, so I'm giving this room to breathe.
That's going to expire. There will be mass evictions if some of these rent protections don't go into play. And we know that there are up to 50 million people who say they could be facing food insecurity by
Risk management. That's the word.
It's really
Risk
the kitchen table
management.
view that these policymakers, this economic team is going to have to grapple right away. And you can't do any of those things on a permanent basis without fixing COVID first. So there's a huge vaccine.
If this thing drops more than $2 from where I bought it at, I still feel okay. I'm still good with that.
Frankly, what we're going to be doing with the economy, trying to get those vaccines.
Because I know this thing can move to $2 and $2 and change. But and then right now we're basically like 60 cents away from where I bought it at, man. So
some of these loans to small businesses, etc. So first of all, can this package happen, and where would the money be best spent?
This is a debate that has been going on since May, and they have been so dug in on their corners.
yeah, we're only 60 cents away from where I bought it at, so
Is there a chance that the Democrats could accept a little bit less money?
not bad.
I don't know, maybe.
Not bad at all.
Republicans have been very
So
focused on liability protections as a cornerstone of this, and spending money in different ways than the Democrats. So they're really dug in on this. I mean, I keep watching the reporting, and the fact that they're at least talking, I guess, is important. But Jim, I mean, we have just crashed and burned on this over and over again in terms of these two sides getting any money out there, and the money has run out. I mean, this isn't even stimulus anymore. This
all right.
is just financial aid to survive.
No question. Finally, some unsettling words from the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell.
So looks like we're going to end up holding on to this a little bit longer than we would like to. So if we take a look at yesterday, so it looks like it's going to repeat from yesterday. So our sales trigger is still in play from that. So if we take a look at yesterday's sales real quick. So yesterday it reached this massive level down here as it sold off right here. And if we take a look at what time that happened at 7:42, and it looks like we're on par for that exact same thing of repeating itself. So yeah, so it looks like we might be on par for that to happen again. And then we saw that massive bounce. It did open lower than the previous day, so that's a good sign. Yeah, so not worried on this at all. We were green 4 times. It didn't reach our level of our sell trigger as it reaches oversold. So now we're on oversold in the RSI. We're on oversold area on the deviation lines. So I'm gonna leave my trigger where it's at for the time being, seeing that it was having an extremely hard time breaking that motherfucker. So yeah, so I'm comfortable with that sell trigger there. Not a huge gain. If it does reach that level, that gives us about a $7 to $9 gain today.
USAA Insurance made just the way Martin's family needs it. Have some free claims? He got paid before his neighbor started. Because doing right by our members, that's what's right. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
Alright guys, so before I head out, I'm going to get ready. I'm going to keep live streaming until I get ready. But so we'll do a quick recap. Okay, so we got in at a perfect time. Okay, I got in on this candle here. I get on the anticipation of how long it's been oversold, and knew it was going to have a little bounce back, as it did. It didn't get to a level where I was liking to sell, and I gave it some more try. So if you would have got in with your strategy, you would have got in right here on the beginning of this candle right here, and then you can erode that wave, and then maybe as it comes back down, you can literally just sell it right here, as I should have on the third attempt. And then we did it again right here. I did not flatten it because it was just 2-3 cents away from where I wanted to sell it at. No worries, man. We're not that far away from my trigger. I would be worried if we were like literally like $4 or $5 away from there. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I don't think it's going to, you know. Knock on wood. Hopefully this is real wood. I can knock on that motherfucker. So yesterday, you know, this is what it did yesterday. Yesterday it got all the way down to here at this, you know, about around this same time, and then it just flew up, and then it didn't reach our trigger until 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Not something I want to do, but that's what we have triggers for that exact fucking reason. Okay, so as it starts to make its way back up, so we're currently about, you know, 53 cents away from where we bought at. So 53 cents on like a Momo stock, on penny stocks, that's a lot, but not for a stock like this. This thing moves dollars, man. You know, on a decent day it moves $1.25, $1.50. On a great day it moves $2-3, which is real nice. And we're seeing Neo making a nice comeback here. Who jumped in Neo? Anyone jump into Neo? Yeah? Very nice.
Call now for a free and instant protection plan quote. It's only a matter of time until repairs and
I mean, you know, 40 cents. It's not bad. Depending how many shares she got. She got there. $15? Not bad. Not bad. Anyone, I know a few of you jumped into W, which is great. So you're done for the day. So, yeah. So I'm glad. So what, 2 of you are with me holding this right now? Yeah, okay. So we're at 7:30. I'm going to go ahead and get my super juice, get my jog on. I'm going to let this ride. I'm going to keep live streaming until I get ready to get out the door. So that's where we're at right now, guys. So it found support or resistance level. It tried to break it a few times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it just it couldn't reach our level of that we wanted to sell at. So I lowered it to that point right there. Now, if this doesn't get close to where I want to get at near the end of the market, which I think it will, I think it'll be up there around 10 or 11 or so. So I'm not really worried about that at all. But if tomorrow or today it doesn't get close to that, or somewhere close to that, I'm gonna raise the bar on it. I'm gonna go higher on it. Because if I'm gonna do a swing trade, then I'm gonna hold on to it for a couple of days. Probably just 1 or 2 days max. So we'll see what happens. We're not that far away from where we bought at. So we might approach $1 at most as far as it'll go down. We're already close to the oversold area here, so that's what it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and get ready, guys. I'm gonna leave this on the screens real quick. For those of you that made money, fantastic, good for you. Those of you waiting with me, up to you. You want to take that little loss? You want to wait? I'm gonna wait for it. DraftKings is a good stock. Nothing but great news on it. I think these are just short sellers. Now, we didn't have any news on the short sellers for DKNG, as we can go ahead and pop this up right here. I didn't find anything on here, as you can see here. So if we were to hit start quote, there's nothing on here. I mean, no one's really interested in shorting this, it seems like, unless it's just something, a stock they haven't entered into their system there. But so that's where we're at, guys. So you can see here it's starting to hit our oversold
also saying that schools
super
will
hard.
remain
So
open for in-person instruction.
wait for that
And
bounce back.
that's
So we're gonna be currently down $1
interesting. He blames
from where we bought at.
of schools across the nation to a lack of a unified.
I'm gonna hold on to this for a minute. I'm just gonna get ready.
I think that had we had a unified message as a country 6 months ago, I don't think there'd be a single school district that would be closed in this country right now.
Now, Jim, it's very curious that Governor Ron DeSantis mentioned that. Now, he didn't mention names. He didn't point specifically a finger at somebody. But we do know that, of course, he has a very close relationship with President Donald Trump. So if he felt that way a long time ago, you would think he would have picked up the phone and told the president. Jim?
You might think. Rosa Flores, thanks very much. Let's speak more now with the mayor of Miami Beach, Dan Gelber. He's one of a handful of mayors around the state calling for the governor to take more action. Mayor, thanks so much for taking the time this morning.
Jim, glad to be here.
So I want to play the governor's comments specifically yesterday on refusing a mask mandate and get your response. Have a quick listen.
Is that stop an outbreak in Minnesota, Illinois, Michigan? What about New Jersey? What about all these states where you have explosion in cases? So, I mean, at some point, does the observed experience matter? I'm opposed to mandates, period. I don't think they work.
I mean, there is some data counted by county and states that shows the opposite, but what's your response to the governor?
You know, it's really terrible because he's sort of adopted an ideology, a convenient ideology, but not one grounded in science. And the result is that he's been receiving advice from these fringe scientists and doctors who pursue the wrong kinds of theories on how to deal with this. And the result is that we have virus spread throughout our state. We have 100 people in the hospital each day in the last 2 days in just my county alone, and over 18,000 people died in our state. So he's wrong, and he just won't change direction to the detriment of our residents.
And the way you described it there is good ideology over science. You wrote a letter to Governor DeSantis in October, and you accused him in that letter of purposefully allowing the virus to spread throughout the community to achieve what you described as a dangerous version of herd immunity. I wonder if you believe his decisions recently have borne that out.
Absolutely. And listen, it's really not an accusation, Jim. He's only he's only counseled with Dr. Atlas and his 2 other physicians who pursued this kind of fringe herd immunity. He's not talked to Dr. Fauci. He's not talked to local infectious disease experts. He's gone to the folks that are most convenient and follow the ideology he wants to follow. And the result is that he is pursuing it. And the best proof is this. He opened up our economy entirely in a single day, and then at the same time said that local governments can't issue fines for failure to wear masks. He did the worst of all worlds. He said, go ahead and get out there, but we're not going to let you protect people from the spread of the virus.
So what do? I wonder, right? I mean, the governor is not responding to you. You care about the people in your city. You want to save lives. What can you do despite lacking his support?
Well, we do workarounds, okay? Frankly, we give citations now for failing to wear a mask, even though they can't carry a fine with them. We tell businesses they have to enforce a mask usage requirement in their businesses. We do all that. Where we're lacking the most is this. It's the
Oh, wow, what a heartbreaker, huh? Look at that. My super juice.
What DeSantis is doing is not simply not helping us. He's doing the opposite. He actually is telling people they don't need to wear masks. I get emails every day. Angry emails from people saying, why don't you listen to the governor? Why are you forcing us to wear masks? Why don't you be quiet? And that's just dangerous, frankly.
So we're still in good standings as far as
the best way to protect yourself and, in fact, to open up the economy.
How far up it can go once it finds its bottom. So as of right now, we're just down $1.20.
I don't want to politicize the vaccine because I saw what happened when we politicized the mask.
51.54 being where we bought it at. I hit that. I put that trigger there as I go out for my jog to see if it's close to where I bought it at. As it keeps going further and further down. This is really annoying, man. But you know, I should have sold it the third try on that resistance.
And I expect that our government will follow that. I know our local hospital administrators are, and so patients see more as well.
Well, we wish you the best of luck in the weeks to come. I know they're going to be difficult, Mayor David. Thanks, President Trump continues his fight to stay in the White House, despite the facts that his advisors tell CNN the writing is on the wall.
I haven't even checked. Let me see. So I'm gonna head out, guys. I'm gonna leave this up here. I'm gonna leave my trigger where it's at. We're still in good reaching distance for that, as it's sold off. I mean, if we take a look at where it's at now, I mean, look at that. You know, it's this is the low, the absolute low of yesterday. This was the point of oversold from yesterday. This blue line right here. So as you can see, we're in there, Ben. We're in there. We're struggling with this mofo. So again, I should have sold it as it reached this level. 5 times it touched it. It wasn't being greedy. It was just a couple cents away from my trigger. So if I have to hold on to this a little bit longer than I'd like to, which looks like it might be, I think that this will end up going further up. Definitely reach our trigger today. For sure it's going to reach our trigger today. Well, I'm hoping it will. You know, how is the market doing? I have not checked to see how the market's doing. Let's take a look at the heat map. Market's green.
Full spectrum relief for all bipolar 1 symptoms with just 1 pill once a day. Elderly patients with dementia-related psychosis have an increased risk of death.
Market's green.
Call your doctor about unusual changes in behavior or suicidal thoughts.
Market's green. There's no recent news on this, both on none of this, man. So yeah, so we'll ride this wave up, man. We're still in good striking distance for what this normally moves on average. So I mean, if we take a look at yesterday's drop, after yesterday's drop coming down from here, from this baseline right here, 49.80, it went all the way to 52.45 as a high of 52.50. So I do think it can do that. So I mean, if you look at it, you know, it's like a $2 and change run. So we're in great striking distance for that. So it tapped that level of resistance quite often. It didn't pass it. Had a hard time breaking that and busting through. It broke it, it tapped it, but it just wouldn't break through. So let's see if this will be the second attempt to reach its low as it did yesterday. It didn't reach as far as it did yesterday, so that's a good sign. And we're getting away from the oversold and the RSI. So we're starting to climb back up, guys. So we're looking okay. We're looking nice. Now we're currently just like 90 cents or so away from where we bought at. So we're not doing bad. So actually, I'm kind of excited that it's starting to climb back up. Let's see how far it can go. All right. I don't think in this run it'll reach up there. So, but we'll see what happens, guys. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna get my stuff, get ready as I get out of here in like 4 minutes.
There is no obligation to enroll. The call and Medicare benefits review are absolutely free. If you're not sure if you're on the best plan for you, just call the number on your screen now for your free, no obligation Medicare benefits review. You don't get these savings and additional benefits automatically, so call before the December 7th deadline. You may be able to save money and receive additional benefits. Call 800-882-0987. 800-882-0987.
Closed captioning brought to you by Meso Book Platform.
Mississippi is always here, so the vendors we are free for call 1-800-400-2802.
Advisors to the president are telling CNN that Trump privately knows he lost the election. Okay, but that's the exact opposite of what he is saying in public. In fact, he's continuing to lie and pressure those in his party to interfere in the process. That's key. The bottom line, as that's happening, he's raised more than $170 million since Election Day. Read the fine print, folks, as to where this money can go. CNN John Harwood's live. So, John, what's the point here? I mean, apparently he knows the facts here as he should, because it's clear. Why is he doing this?
Donald Trump is an odd individual. Jim, I think we've learned that over the last 4 years. Ted Cruz, who ran against him in the 2016 Republican primaries, by the end, when he was frustrated by Trump's annex and Trump having defeated him, explained it this way. He said, Donald Trump is a pathological liar who, the moment the lies come out of his mouth, he decides he believes them. I think that fits the situation. He's not completely disconnected from reality. There's too much information in the environment and people around him who tell him that he's lost the election. But he's keeping up.
All right, guys, I'm all set, ready to go. I'm gonna leave this on here for my archives. You know. All right, so I'm gonna give this another 5 minutes. See how far it'll go for us before I get out of here. So we're looking for a repeat of yesterday, as it flew down. This is yesterday right here, okay, and this is today. So you know, it looks very similar. So hopefully it can do the same thing for us. Hopefully it'll reach our sell trigger sooner than 10 o'clock, which it looks like it's not going to. If we're gonna go on a repeat from yesterday, it looks like it's gonna take some time to get up there. So we'll see what happens. Everything is showing us to get in here. So I would say maybe it'll reach this point right here before it comes back down a little bit, and then start to make its way up. So I'm anticipating for this to do this. So I think what it's going to do is going to reach this level here, and then it'll probably go one of these things, like maybe reach that level again, and then go further up to this area right here. So I think that's what it's going to do. So let's see if I'm right, and hopefully that's what it does. So let me get rid of this line real quick. I got 4 minutes to get out of here to make my run.
Great tasty and short, with 9 grams of protein, 27 vitamins and minerals, and nutrients to support immune health.
With Allstate, you can really save. Save for being a new customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. Save even more for driving safely. Take another look at Allstate.
Alright, so our level 2 is looking real nice, guys. Level 2 is looking nice. I'll take a base hit. Hopefully, we can get to our point. It's like it's struggling with this support right here. So hopefully this will be the new support. Let me get rid of this thing. So it's like it's struggling with the support right here. Hopefully it'll use that to bounce off and then climb back up. We're above the 50 trend line on our RSI. This thing is hovering over our 5 line. It's under the 9. So, and then the yellow's underneath it. So a lot of good signs saying that this can continue its little mini run. So we're not looking for much, man. We're looking for about what are we looking at? We're looking at about $1. No, about 50 cents. We want this to go up to 50 cents, right? So from where it's at right now, take a quick look. As I have 3 minutes before I jet out.
It's proven to detect atrial fibrillation, one of the leading causes of stroke, and it can also detect normal heart rhythm, bradycardia, and tachycardia.
Having cardio mobile, it's a peace of mind for me.
Because you can't see your cardiologist every day, but you can see your cardiologist.
Yeah, so we're about $1.21 away from where we want to sell at.
It's just $84. Don't wait. Order today on Amazon or cardiomobile.com.
So kids, what do you want for lunch?
Oh, pizza. I want tacos. Pizza. Oh, pizza.
What about Subway? It's a good call and everyone loves it.
We raised our kids on it.
So stop the bickering.
Chicken bacon ranch. Chicken bacon ranch. Mom, Jay's copy.
No, not at all.
Christmas coffee.
Go on, Mom.
Knock it off.
Good food that's good for you, but good for you. Now, only in the Subway app, get a free foot long when you buy two, because it's foot long season.
Second Neo's making his way back up. NVAX is just taking a nosedive. I knew that was going to happen. I'm curious to see what's going on with Moderna. As Moderna was the other leader in the biotech. This thing flew up pre-market.
Now, more than ever, the world needs heroes. Join Anderson Cooper and
Yeah, this thing flew up massively, and it came down now from the high of 178. It's the highest Moderna's ever been, which is why I wasn't looking at it. So this massive sell-off was bound to happen. It was going to sell off eventually. So I have 2 minutes before I get out of here. I'm going to go ahead and wait it out to see how far I can go before I get out.
With a little bit of hot rock.
No, they're just faster and more reliable.
Okay. That's okay.
Spectrum Mobile gets you the fastest overall speeds and the most reliable service coast to coast. It's a better way to mobile. Spectrum Mobile.
Introducing touch-free payments from PayPal, the safe way for your customers to pay. Whether you're a Sunday seller, poodle pamperer, piano tuner, or purveyor of plants, give your customers the confidence to shop safe. New touch-free payments, no seller fees until 2021. Shop safe with PayPal. Get started today.
Transition in Wilmington, Delaware, and this is CNN.
All right, so we're literally 60 cents away from where I bought in at, which is a good sign. This being the level I bought in right here. It looks so far away, doesn't it, on the chart? Like, oh my God, look at your triggers and it's way up there. But this stock can do that. I know it can do that. All right, I'm just gonna wait out. I want to see. If it starts to go back down, then I jet out of here. But hopefully, it can reach that level. It's approaching support on the deviation lines. So as we can see here, it had a hard time struggling to break that. Then it went down. So let's see if it can break that and then just bust right through for us.
What happens if we lose everything? For real, you know? Like, what really is going to happen? I'm a big vegetarian.
3-year-old Brandy was born with an extremely rare metabolic disease known as CACT. Essentially, Brandy's body is unable to break down the fat and food that her body needs to function. It has caused.
So I was having a hard time breaking this level here, as it did over here previously before it went down. So and then it just went down, like it went down here. So hopefully it can bust through that. We know it can. We know it's going to. A strong indication saying that it's going to do that. So let's just see what it does. I'm gonna leave my trigger where it's at. If I have to hold on to this for a little bit longer, then you know that's just what it is. Stock is a good stock. It's a good company. It's nothing but great news. There's no recent news that broke out. bad. Just nothing but good news that broke out recently at 7/19.
They hoped the pandemic would end quickly. Now the couple says they live off $700 a month in unemployment assistance and food stamps. Medicaid insurance provides a nurse to help in Brandy's daily care, a schedule that's meticulously mapped out.
Docu is on the oversold. I like Docu, it's a good company. Etsy's on the oversold. Etsy, really? Take a look at this mofo. Let me see how this is doing real quick. Etsy.
Would be evicted at the end of December.
That lady told me.
Wow, real nice, man. Etsy's making its way back up. That would have been nice too. I like Etsy. So from the low of this, 154 to 156, $2 run right there. I have Etsy on my watch list. It's on there. All right, guys. I'm staying a little bit longer than I really intended to. So I'm just gonna let this take its course. I'm gonna get out of here real soon. With the time I have to go for a little quick jog. As this looks like it broke through the support level on the deviation lines. Now let's see if it can just bust through there. So everything on our level 2 indicates that it's going to. So, and then the tape right now, it's a mix of green and red. So see if we can bounce back up there. So we do have on here on the ask on the level 2 all the way up to 5109, 5108. Then we have here 5236. So we're quite a ways from people actually buying and selling to where we want to get to on the level 2. But I honestly, I just look at the level 2 to see if there's any huge sellers or buyers coming in. So we have one here at 5046, 90. It's a lot right there. So, and that's almost where I bought in at. So if it reaches that, I can catapult it up. So hopefully that happens, and that guy's going to help levitate this stock to go higher. So we'll see what happens. Right now it's currently at this support level. It's having a hard time breaking that. But we knew it did that yesterday. You know, I mean, this is yesterday's. Is it yesterday? This is yesterday. So you can see here, it had a hard time breaking that support level. I mean, it tapped it here, went back down, and then it tapped it again, and as it broke through, and then eventually came back down to it, and then just went up towards it. So our sell trigger is well in range for what happened yesterday. I don't think this is going any further down than what it already has. So for those of you that are in this with me and you're holding, hey, why you shouldn't follow me blindly. I give you the information.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Ed. Our best to that family. I'm Jim Shudo. See you, and I'll be right back.
Tonight, I'll be eating roasted cauliflower tacos with spicy chipotle sauce.
Alright guys, let's see. I'm going to give it another 4 minutes as this starts to climb back up for us. It's breaking through. See if we can take this little base hit. We're not far down. Right now, we're still red, but not by much. Hopefully this can go up for us real quick. We would love to start the month green. It'd be great if we started the month green, guys.
It is a very special place.
Taking these little base hits.
For all these kids and get all these sicknesses.
So,
It's trying to take over the whole body.
right, Mac. So, the small account challenge, what I did was I took out all my earnings that I have made in the time I've been trading and just kept $1,700 in my account. That's essentially what I started with when I first started trading. So in the beginning, what I started doing was just going all in with, in the beginning of the challenge in this month, was with all my capital. But that left me with a day I couldn't trade. And then I'd have to trade offline with my swing trading account. So what I did was, in order for me to keep trading with a small account, I went back to what I used to do, was I just split my money in half. So today we started with about $760 is what we started the day with today. Yesterday we did it with about $800-900, I think it was. So that's what we do. So no, I don't do momos anymore. Momos are too stressful. Look, so we're talking about risk management. In hindsight, it's really your threshold. I mean, of what you really are willing to hold on to and see how far down it can go, how far up it can go. I mean, you don't want to really hold on to this, to any stock. So say if you get into it and you're good with losing, $50, $100, $20, whatever. So if it reaches that mark, then take the loss, because you never know. Yeah, it can go up from when you sold it, and then people look at it like, damn, I sold at a loss and then it went up. It happens with everybody, man. You're not the only one. It happens with everybody. But when you trade a stock like DKNG, that it's a strong company. They already went through the whole dilution of the second offering, and went back down to like almost the 30s, mid-high 30s, and then it found its way back up. It curled back up $20 or so. So we are in closer proximity to the high of the $64-65 that it was at than we are to the low. And since we did open lower today than we did from yesterday, and our sell trigger is basically right there in the mix of all this from yesterday, we are in good standings right now. So we're not far down from that, guys. So
after a complete or partial response to treatment with platinum-based chemotherapy.
Very nice.
It can cause serious side effects such as bone marrow problems called MDS, or a type of blood cancer called AML, which may lead to death. Symptoms of low blood cell count.
All right, guys. So 8 o'clock, man. I want to try and get a little mini jog in. So I'm gonna leave this streaming. See if we can hit our level as we get closer to where I bought in at. We're about 20 cents or so from where I bought in at, so we're not that far from where I bought in at. It looks like it's doing a repeat from yesterday, so it's exactly what it's doing. So hopefully we can keep that repeat, and we can reach our level here, as we can see it's starting to climb up. So I do think that it's gonna maybe reach another 15 cents before it starts to come back down. But if it comes back down, I think it'll bounce off this support level. If it starts to come back down, it'll bounce off the support, and then it just keep stepping up. So hopefully that's what it's going to do for us today. We don't want to bag hold this. So for those of you that are in, it's up to you, bro. I mean, if you want to sell it at a higher price, by all means, please do. I'm not saying it can't reach that. I'm just saying how fast you want your money. So I feel that it's going to reach my sell trigger today. I do think it's going to reach that. I really do. Is it going to go higher than that? It will, but not by much. It will, but not by much. Remember, this at max moves as $1.50 max. On a good day, it does move $2-3. So we are in range of this reaching our sell trigger as it came down here. So if you were to do the math from this low of here, 50.08, to sell it at 51.99, that's about $1 and change upswing from there. So it is a safer bet that it'll reach this area, maybe surpass it by a little bit, but I don't think, maybe it'll go to 52, maybe. I don't think so. I think it's just going to go to this area here, and I'll be lucky if it reaches that level. So we'll see what happens, guys. All right. So I'm late for my jog. I can only go for a little bit, as this fucking stock is taking its time to get to where we fucking want to get it to.
looking at these numbers rising here, Kate, as we're looking at the
All right, so I'm gonna head out of here. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. I'm gonna let this run.
In November, according to Johns Hopkins University, and that does bode for a very dark winter ahead for the United States. The coronavirus pandemic not abating. At least 43 states are over the crucial 5% test positivity threshold. More than 96,000 Americans now hospitalized with the coronavirus, another high for the country.
We have to do everything we can during this very serious time when our hospitals are really being hit to slow down the transmission.
Governor Mike DeWine said more than 5,000 people are hospitalized with the coronavirus in Ohio, the most for the state throughout the entire pandemic.
But then so quickly and so drastically, once again, hope the individuals come in and they just decline.
You know what sucks is I was all ready for this to maintain down in that level down there, so I can go for my jog and then just let this thing take its ride. But then it starts getting close to where I bought in at, and then I don't want to miss it, even though I have a trigger set for it. So again, I think it's not at overbought yet on the RSI, so this can go up a little more. It can definitely reach where we bought in at. As soon as it starts to hit that overbought area on the RSI, which is very close to do, it's going to end up going. It's going to go down a little bit. But I think the lowest it'll go is maybe if it reaches our level where we bought in. I think the lowest it'll go back down is maybe to the 5121 area right here. This level. Which was this level? This was the original support level that it broke going down instead of going up. So maybe it can do the reverse for us. So if this thing starts to curl down a little bit, I think it'll reach this 5121 level, maybe break it just by a little bit, and then come back up. So I think that's what it's going to do. So I'm going to give us another 5 minutes. I keep saying that. I want to see what it does for us. So let's see here. So a few people made money on DraftKings already. Real nice. W being the big hit. Neo, one of you took Neo. That's awesome. Right. Okay. That's great, guys. That's awesome. Base hits, man. Base hits. Build that capital up, man. If you got the capital and your base hit is like $100 or more, then fantastic. Let's see.
John, Stephen Hahn called over to meet with the president's chief of staff. What is going on here? What is going on behind the scenes?
What is going on, Kate, is an effort to satisfy or respond to the president's qualifications with the normal process of approval of this vaccine. President Trump has been hectoring the drug companies after they announced.
All right, guys, so we are in close proximities to where we bought in. That's awesome. We're very close to that. We're about 10 cents away, 12 cents away from where we bought in at. So we're liking that. The market's green, guys. The market's green. So look, my triggers, I don't think it's going to reach this until maybe later on in the morning. I think it needs a little bit more of a nice run. So we are currently now
It's career scientists at the FDA in consultation with
an hour and a half
advisors that they talk to.
into this fucking trade. We got in right here. right here. We got a 5 minutes in. We could have made our money easy after the third attempt of it breaking that level. We're just having a hard time doing that. And now we're just waiting for this to reach the 51. I believe once it reaches this support level right here, or this resistance, this is the resistance of or where I bought in. It should, go up from there. So, we're literally not far away from where we want to sell at. We want to sell at 59. What was it that we want to sell at? 51.99. Where is it at? 51.99. So, I mean, it's like 80 cents away from there, which is very, very reachable for this fucking stock. So, let's see.
CDC advisory board meeting today. Everyone is waiting to see what could come out. What do you think will?
So, good morning, Kate, and good to be with you. I think that today we will be hearing...
All right, so if this thing goes below this 51.21, I am just going to go out for my jog. I'm just waiting to see because it looks like it wants to keep going higher, but it's struggling with this 51.31 area.
Everyone will get vaccinated, but initially there won't be enough vaccine for everybody. So it's very important for us to think through and be clear and transparent about how we prioritize and move through our population offering vaccine.
Absolutely. And we also just heard from the head of Operation Warp Speed saying very clearly that, as you well know, that the need far outpaces the initial supply of the vaccine, even amongst the high risk.
All right, so it looks like it's going to break that support.
Priority group that we've been talking and hearing so much about, from frontline workers to 65 and older to people with pre-existing with comorbidities and so on. How does the advisory panel?
If we could have this.
Well, what I would say, so
surpass this right here, then then it could definitely catapult up. So about a what? About 30,000 away from the average 30 bar, going back 30 bars away. So we need that. We need that.
What initially will be a small supply of vaccine that will grow every month.
What about even more simple questions that I know folks have? Like, will Americans have a choice which vaccine they eventually take? Is there a group of Americans that should not get the vaccine? What about simple questions? I don't know if they're simple or simple questions. I guess there isn't one when it comes to vaccine distribution. But is that going to, do you expect that to come out first?
So it's been living in the support area for quite some time.
I don't expect to hear
So we can see here how long it took for it to break. It's going down. Looks like it took about 5 minutes for it to break down and go further down. And we are currently at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes. So it's way overextended. So it's going to end up coming back down to this support area right here. I think that's the furthest it'll go down, like I had mentioned previously. I think after this little run, it'll start maybe reach this area here and then climb back up. So this is going to take time for it to hit my trigger today. And I'm just going to go ahead and probably sign off in the next 5 minutes and just let this play out.
94 to 95% efficacy against all COVID-19 disease, but 100% efficacy against severe disease, which is really a remarkable achievement. So I don't anticipate that there will be, given the 2 vaccines that we have now, any sort of preferential recommendation. There are other vaccines in the pipeline still being evaluated. Whether we have preferential recommendations down the road for those vaccines remains to be seen.
I also wanted to get your reaction because a big part of the process from now and going forward is building.
So Moderna's curling back up, which is pretty cool. Moderna being one of the stocks that is it's doing well with this vaccine. So there it goes, guys, as it starts to come back down to this area here. I think it'll just go here and bounce up. Hopefully that's what I think it's going to do. As you can see that it bounced off it here, then went up. So hopefully that's what it's going to do for us. We're not that far down from where we bought in, and if we can reach where we bought in, then it can definitely reach what we want to sell it at. NVAX continues to go down, does it? No, NVAX is starting to curl up.
Building public trust doesn't come once you have a vaccine out in the community. It starts at the very beginning. And I think the FDA
NVAX took a hard nosedive.
Groups should be congratulated on their rigor and on their transparency and how they have pursued this. They put out guidance this summer in general about COVID-19 vaccines. They came out with guidance this fall, specifically around EUAs and COVID-19 vaccines that were absolutely, as I said, rigorous and transparent, and their processes are transparent. They require that they include the advisory committee, VRPAC, in their deliberations, but they are, and in doing so, the deliberations are public. And I think you can't have trust, particularly in these times, without that kind of deliberative, transparent process.
Dr. Karen, thank you very much. Coming up, Russ, what Joe Biden's picks for his economic team tell you about how he'll try to rescue the pandemic-battered economy, and that's coming out. Plus, one doctor's warning: we're watching a system breaking in front of us, and we're helpless to stop it. We're going to take you to Nebraska.
Bask in the warm glow of winter lights with Cadillac during the season's best sales event and shine your dreams with the fresh new line of Cadillac vehicles. So
all right. No, I won't. I wouldn't suggest continue to trade. I mean, it's it's up to you. I mean, if you find a stock with a good setup and it's telling you to get in, and by all means get in. NVAX. I think NVAX is gonna. Yeah, no, I think NVAX is gonna go up. I mean, it dropped dramatically, so it's already making its way back up. I think it'll go to 135. Yeah, I think NVAX will go to 135. So I mean, again, I don't suggest an over trading. If you already made a profit, stick with that profit. It's building blocks. We're building our capital up. It's what we're doing. All right. So.
Brush aside the doubters, the naysayers, the noise. Oh, and lit. You're not ready for gray, so brush it away.
Aurora is on the oversold. Kodak. I like Kodak. It does. Kodak has been very good to me. Lee's on here. Neo's on here. Plantier's on here. There's a lot of talk about Plantier as well. Plantier is like a cloud company. A lot of good news on it. A lot of good news. A lot of people are jumping on that, thinking it's going to go higher and higher. So Plantier would be a good long-term investment. I would have liked to get into this way early, but it's still a brand new stock, brand new. I mean, it came out recently, so I mean, I don't know. Let's see what. If we take a look at Plantier, PLTR, Plantier. Here we go. So you can see this is very recent. I mean, if we take a look at the daily chart, I mean, look, this is where it started. So I think it's definitely going to go higher. I do believe that it can do that. But, you know, I mean, let's go back to what we were looking at, see where we're at right now. Alright, so it's struggling with that level right there, guys. Struggling with that level.
Learn how you can use a reverse mortgage loan to cover your expenses, pay for healthcare, preserve retirement savings, and so much more.
A lot's changed since 1961. Since then, over 1 million older Americans have used a reverse mortgage loan to finance their retirement. It meant so much to Nellie. Maybe it could mean as much to you.
Call now and get your free info kit. Call 800-577-1044.
Closed captioning brought to you by mesobook.com.
Mesothelioma is all we do. For over 10 years, we have offered a free book on mesothelioma. Call 1-800-400-2800.
Soon, President-elect Joe Biden will be introducing his team to confront the economic crisis brought on by the pandemic. So far, he's named 3 women who would make history if confirmed by the Senate. Janet Yellen as Treasury Secretary, along with, as we see over there, Neera Tanden to lead the Office of Management and Budget, and Cecilia Rouse to chair the Council of Economic Advisors, and is the other top members of this team right there. Both Neera as well as Cecilia, both of whom would be the first women of color in such high-profile roles, if confirmed. But what do these hires say about Biden's focus for the economy coming in? Joining me right now is Rana Foroohar, CNN's global economic analyst and global business columnist and associate editor for the Financial Times, as well as CNN political correspondent Abby Phillip. It's great to see you guys. Rana, you just wrote about this, saying you said Janet Yellen's a home run, the right woman for the Times. Why is that?
All right. Just having that hard time breaking that level there, man. So this is the new level of resistance right there, 5140. Literally like 14 cents away from where we bought in at. So
but that said, she's also concerned about debt. She's voiced concerns about longer-term fiscal positions in the U.S. So I think that's going to appeal to both progressives that want someone focused on employment, but also more moderate Democrats and even some conservatives that are worried about debt.
The only reason I smile is someone concerned about debt. That's like she's the only person in Washington.
all right, guys.
What we've seen, like, let's be honest.
My trigger is going to maintain where it's at. The trigger is 51.99. So 51.
And employment and full employment. Some things that are very clearly in contrast in terms of background and biography from President Trump's economic team. What do you think that means for the Biden economic agenda? What policies they're going to be pushing and promoting early on?
Well, one of the big things that I know that they are focused on is the income inequality.
All right, I'm going to give us another 10 minutes, 12 minutes before I head out. I keep saying that.
And the reality is that not only is the country in a terrible situation in terms of unemployment, but there is this incredible divide that we see every day when we look at those food lines and see thousands of Americans lining up to go to food pantries, and then you see the wealthiest people getting richer. And the Biden campaign is very focused on that, believing that tackling that issue is both a short-term and a long-term priority for them. It is both a messaging issue in terms of their ability to kind of message to working-class voters, and a practical issue because, this is a consumer economy by and large, and if Americans don't have money to spend on things, the economy can't get back up and running. So I do see kind of a pivot to that kind of focus, and in some ways, that's something that actually can have a lot of appeal to both sides of the Democratic Party. We've talked a lot about maybe appealing on the Republican side, but Biden also has to deal with progressives and the Bernie Sanders wing of the Democratic Party, and they are very focused on issues of inequality, very focused on issues of labor and on issues of working class Americans. And I think by Biden signaling to those people that he's focused on that too, it will help him as he tries to move some of these people along, but also get the backing, especially in the House, for some of these
All right.
That's a good point. One of the biggest challenges that Biden's team will face, one of the biggest challenges that the country is facing, is up against right now, I would argue is just Congress. They're all talking about, let's not even call it a stimulus package anymore. Let's call it releasing aid, which is what the country needs. You talk to small businesses.
All right, so it's back at resistance. Let's see if we can bust through the resistance this time. I'm telling you, if it can reach where we bought in at, I think it'll shoot up from there. I think it'll come back down maybe to this. So if it can pass this resistance and blows up to where we bought in at, then that becomes the new level of support, and then it can just bounce up from there. We are literally not far away from where we bought in, guys. We're literally not far away from where we want to sell at. Is this stock able to reach that after it dropped so much? Yes. Reason being is previous price action. We take a look at yesterday's sales again. 49.06 being the low, 50.31 being where the resistance was from before that huge bounce, and we're currently at that right now, ladies and gentlemen. So 50.31 is the low of where it was at, and so it opened lower from yesterday. From yesterday's open, which is all the way up here in the overbought section. So, do I think that this is going to reach that level? I do. I really do. Maybe not as fast as I would have liked it to get to. But, as you can see here, this is the important of understanding support and resistance. So, you can see here, it broke it here. So, it does have a tendency of breaking those lines quite often. It does take time for it to test it before it breaks through, but it has the potential to do that. So I think it's going to do that. We're very close to it breaking that level of resistance, as we can see here. If it breaks that level of resistance and it climbs up to where we bought at, I really do think that it's going to keep climbing to the average right here. And then probably start to sell down a little bit, but we needed to break that level of resistance before that happens, and it's having a hard time doing that.
At University of Phoenix, you can earn your degree faster and for less, with relevant life experience and eligible transfer credits. Because your experience matters. See how much you can save on your degree at phoenix.edu.
Attention! Do you have Medicare? Did you know that you may qualify to get up to $144 added back to your Social Security check every month? It's easy to see if you're eligible. Just call the Go Medicare Benefits Help Center at 800-990-1664. In addition to receiving $144 every month, you might also qualify for a $0 Medicare Advantage plan that includes the following benefits: dental, including fillings, exams, and dentures; vision, including exams, frames, lenses, and even contacts; hearing, including hearing aids and batteries; and prescription drug coverage, all at no additional cost. The Go Medicare Benefits Help Center is open now at 800-990-1664. Both the call and the consultation are 100% free with absolutely no obligation to enroll. Call the Go Medicare Benefits Help Center now at 800-990-1664. That's 800-990-1664.
Attention everyone on Medicare. Right now is the annual enrollment period for all Medicare recipients.
I don't use VWAP. I used to. I mean, we could add it. So we can go ahead and see what it does, what the VWAP tells us. I like to go ahead and so the main VWAP, I want that to be, we'll put that as the, I don't know, let's say this purple line here. The upper band, we'll make that green, and then we'll just get rid of the lower band. Is how I used to have it. So we can take a look at what it does for us, what it shows us. Alright, so the VWAP
prescription delivery and expanded
Did it
at-home
add it?
telehealth visits. Just call
Yeah, it added it.
800-882-0987
Where's the VWAP at? Where? Oh, so the VWAP's right there, guys.
Medicare Advantage plan.
This is the VWAP line right
Additional
here.
benefits like free hearing aids, free eyeglasses, free meal delivery, and free rides to medical appointments. You may also be
So normally what we use the VWAP for is a bounce off of VWAP. You might hear that often, bounce off of VWAP. So right now it's
vision, hearing, and prescription drugs. There is
where's the upper band at? Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's the upper band. No, that's the deviation line.
If you're not sure if you're on the best plan for you, just call the number on your screen now for your free, no obligation Medicare benefits review. You don't get these savings and additional benefits automatically, so call before the December 7th deadline.
So this is the green top VWAP line here, and this pink one is the main VWAP line. So it's currently underneath that. It's gonna bounce back and forth to this resistance level. So if it right now it's been sitting there for quite some time at that support level. So it could either go if it goes up after so long, it should go up. If not, then it's going to drop back down to this area here.
Debate night in Georgia, Sunday night at 7, live on CNN.
And you have zero worries and zero.
I don't want to hold this overnight. That's not the plan. The plan was to make money today. As it reached this area 4 times, I should have sold it there. I really should have. But as you can see there, that's where I have my trigger at now, because it's having a hard time breaking that. As you can see right there, all those times that it did hit, breaking that. But, we'll see what happens, man. So we needed to break this level of resistance right here. We're not too far away from that. We're not far away from where I bought in at. So let's see. So right now, this will be the 4th attempt of breaking it. Hopefully it can break that and see if it reaches that level.
Between fixing your roof or buying food. Practice making emergency repairs for our neighbors. Text rebuild to 484848.
I'm Kyung Law in the battleground state of Georgia, and this is CNN.
When it comes to the coronavirus pandemic, help is on the way. Pfizer and Moderna filing for emergency use authorization for their vaccines, and it could come in a matter of weeks. But here is the other side of reality right now. 96,000. That is a number that should...
So level 2 looks like it wants to go down. So level 2 looks like it's going to continue to go down. So it looks like it's going to break our support, which I kind of figured it would. It would break that support. And then maybe find support new support right here in this area right there. So if it goes down, I think I'm gonna go to 5110 and then do a bounce back. But that is higher highs and higher lows. So we're still looking good. We're not far away from where I bought in at all. We're not down much, to be honest with you guys. You've been seeing this from jump. So again, I should have sold it after the 3rd attempt of it breaking, trying to break that support or resistance level. I was just like 3 cents away, so I wasn't being greedy. I just wanted those 3 extra cents. It did not reach that. It missed it literally by 2 cents. And you can be frustrated. It's okay to be frustrated. It happens. I'm frustrated right now. I should have, would have, could have. But we'll see what happens. I don't think this is gonna go further down than when it already reached. I think it already went past when it went down. No, it didn't. But it did pass this level here of the oversold from yesterday by quite a lot, and then it made its way back up. So it's breaking our support level here. So if anything, it'll probably go back down to this level here, 5102.
In the past 2 weeks, with more than 4,100 people hospitalized right now. Nearly 20% of all those people are right here in Miami-Dade County, where I am.
Right. So if this doesn't reach my limit sell today, I'm gonna up my trigger by maybe 20-30 cents more. Giving me a whole $1. But I'm gonna hold on to this. I wouldn't normally do that with any other stock. Well, a few stocks I probably would, because I know their routine. But just very few. As you can see, it currently went back down to a support here, as I kind of figured it would. After this little mini run up right here, as you can see this, it went up $1. No, yeah, like 50 cents. So, and we're back down to this level here. Alright guys, so I'm going to hold on to this for a little bit longer than I actually would like to. This looks like it's going to reach our level anytime soon. It may do that later on today. If I have to hold on to this for the next day, I'm going to go for a home run. I know this stock, it does this often. There's nothing but good news on it. It did open lower than it did the previous day, as we can see here. I'm going to try and get rid of all these freaking lines real quick, get a clear chart. Let me see here. So 52.56 being the resistance from yesterday. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to remove all these freaking lines from here. So they're no longer relevant for me. I'm going to maintain that one. I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm going to get rid of this one.
Our ability to have enough healthcare staff to take care of those patients, and just as you mentioned,
I get rid of this one.
To ensure that we have adequate protective equipment,
I'm gonna get rid of this one.
Resources for testing, all of those things as we see these surges in the Midwest and really in different hotspots of the country.
Let me get rid of this one.
Play on will we have the capacity.
I'm gonna keep that 5031 on there.
And the reality is, we're seeing numbers that suggest we will not be able to do
being
that.
That was right here, where it bounced back up at. So.
Doctor, when you look at the numbers, what is...
It's one of the stocks, baby. It's frustrating, man. We could have sold it right here. I'm going to get rid of this. I have way too many. I'm going to get rid of this VWAP line. I don't like the VWAP. I don't use it, so... those of you that use it, hey, it's great,
We are seeing areas like North Dakota where they are stretched beyond the capacity for their healthcare workers to staff patient beds, and have even talked about bringing in COVID-positive healthcare workers to take care of COVID-positive patients because they can't maintain that safe environment without bringing those staff.
Yeah, I'm gonna end up going for my jog now, man. I just wanted to see how far up this could go. It doesn't look like it's gonna reach our mark.
So we're already stretching our staff
yet.
To take care
Not that it's not going to. It can very well do that. As long as it maintains in this resistance and average area here, then we're good. Like the Bears are winning today's battle with this motherfucker. That's what it's doing. The Bears won this one. So the Bears won today. We're still in it. We're not far away from where we bought in. We're not far away from where we want to sell that. It's in the wheelhouse of getting to that area there. It can very well do that today, which I think it's going to. If I have to hold on to this for longer than I have to, then I'm going to go for a home run hit, being that it will essentially be a swing trade. Now, if I hold on to this, again, you really don't want to back hold anything, but if you have to, this is a good stock to back hold, because it does this often. This is what it does, man. One day it'll be it'll go down $2, the next day it'll go up $2. That's what it does. So I'm going to take a base hit today. If it reaches my level today, my sell trigger, if it doesn't reach it, then I'm going to up it. I'm going to put it up to maybe 52.50 to give me a 52.54 to give me a whole $1 of a win today, of a gain, not today, but maybe tomorrow. So I'm looking, the way it's looking, I'm thinking that this is going to be, I'm holding this for the next day and for it to reach my level. So that's what I'm looking for as it currently starts to go back down. I mean, if we see how far down it went earlier today, it went all the way down to here. So we're not far from that 5031 area right there, that being the level of support. So it looks like it wants to reclaim that support area right there, and then we'll see if it bounces back up. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready. I'm not to answer your question. I'm gonna go for a jog, but not for a long one. So I'm gonna give it another 10 minutes before I get out.
I felt like I was just fighting an uphill battle.
Yes, I am frustrated. It's frustrating.
You don't need to be a computer expert to be great at this. These are skills lots of people can learn.
No. I don't know where that's at. Where is that at? Let me see. Yeah, NVAX. Look, the thing with NVAX is, opposed to Moderna, why I would choose NVAX over Moderna? Moderna has went as high as it's ever been in the last couple days. And NVAX has room to get to where it's got to go. And it being a coronavirus contender, it definitely can reach that level. So, Moderna or NVAX, I would pick NVAX. NVAX has more of an upside than it does downside compared to where it was at one point. And Moderna, not saying it can't keep going higher, it can. But, well, look, I'll show you real quick.
This will help you live in the moment, not the mess.
Alright, so if we take a look at, let's take a look at it real quick so I can explain to you what I'm talking about. Let's put in, we'll leave it there. So we'll put in Moderna. You can see, on the daily chart, it's already reached its high. That was today. So I don't think it's going to get any. It can pass it for sure, but I mean, if we take a look at NVAX,
No, not at all.
see, NVAX has a high of 189. And it's closer to get to that. So because it's already had a high before, I'd be looking at NVAX more than I would Moderna. Remember, Moderna was a $70, $80 stock for quite some time, and then it blew up because of the vaccine. So I really do think that that's what's going to happen with NVAX. So NVAX right now, take a look at the 1 minute chart. So you can see right now it is currently at 128. So that's where it bounced off of yesterday. It went below and it went back up. Do I think it's going to do that today? No, I don't think it's going to do this. But I think it definitely would reach this level here. So 128.96 to 137. That's quite a reach. It did that yesterday, so it could do that today. But like, if you were, are you in this stock right now?
Let's catch up with the action. Where happy customers have saved thousands on car repairs.
All right. Well, if you're still green, look, I preach base hits, man. So if you want to go for a home run, go for it. But I would look, if you're green.
It's like having a suit of armor around my car. You never have to worry about.
Well, take a look. So let's take a look at So look how many times it tried to break that level. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it went back down. And then you see this is where it pinpointed right here. So it tried to reach it there and it just went down. And then, so yeah, I think you're gonna go to 134. I mean, you're green right now. Right.
This guy just scored the Car Shield hat trick. That's towing, roadside assistance, and rental coverage.
I think this is going to keep going down, honestly. I think maybe it'll reach that 134, 133 area, and then maybe it'll climb back down. It's not going to reach 137 today. It might near the end at the rally. Like I'm kind of thinking that DKNG is going to do for me today. But I am happy with my
669-1373. Closed captioning.
I'm happy with where I bought it at. So why don't we take a look at where we're at right now, okay? Let's jump back into DKNG. So, so it's looking like it wants to curl back up.
Oklahoma is one of 47 states that saw coronavirus cases skyrocket in the month of November. There are now nearly 200,000 infections there. More than 1,700 people in Oklahoma have lost.
You want to get back into W.
And the state hit a record number of hospitalizations.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. Well, I don't know where it's at. Let me see where it's at.
As we've all said so many times, every number that we talk about is a husband or wife, mother, father, daughter, or son. And one ICU nurse knows this too well. Lizanne Jennings not only treated.
All right, so it looks like the resistance for W is right now 247.77. So I mean, if you got in, are you in now?
And her son, Braden. Thank you both.
You are in.
We were talking in the break, Lizanne, but
okay.
our hearts break. How are you doing?
Well, let's see. Let's see how long it took to get to that point. So right now yeah. So you got in using the strategy, okay? So yeah. So I think 20. If you got you got in at, I'm assuming you got in at 24, 245. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's a $2 upswing right there. So yeah, I think it'll reach that level. Maybe, honestly. I mean, it's having a hard time breaking that. So as you can see, the yellow average was basically the breaking point right here. I'll show you what I'm looking at. So, look. So this being the level of support and resistance, as you can see, it bounced off it for support, went back up, and then it used it again, went back up, and then it just broke that down. And then it basically used support on the deviation lines as it broke that going down and went back up. You got in right here, okay?
Dad, Braden, just died a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
I mean,
so.
And you were sick with COVID as well, Braden.
It can easily reach that. Yeah, this is a $3 mover on average or more, you know. So definitely think it can do that.
How do you describe what the last few weeks have been like for you?
Right, take a base hit, build up your capital, you know, and go from there. As you can see, W. So it's looking like it wants to do that. Our yellow line is looking like it's going to come into play. Let me blow this up for you a little bit more, so you can see. Okay, so this is the level you want to sell at. If you got in here at 245 and change, and you sell it right there at 247 and change, you're looking at $1 plus, maybe $2 upswing there. Don't really know how far, you know.
Luckily, I recovered well, but we weren't able to be together.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna reach that level there. So put a trigger there, and you're good to go, dude. You know.
Lizanne, you share it.
Right. So we disguise it by saying we're swing trading it instead of bag holding it, because you know you never want to bag hold. You know, you want to make your money right then and there. But you know, with certain stocks, sometimes they just end up going the wrong way, even though you know the setup is good. So with DKNG, for example. As we go ahead and look at DKNG, so you can see here, so this is kind of like it looks like it's going to do a cup and handle, which is, as you can see here, I will show you what that is. So as you can see here, oh wow, that's too much. Alright, so cup and handle. So basically what, that's still too, let's do this one. So cup and handle. So what a cup and handle does is it's doing this, it'll do this, then go this, and then go up. So that's what a cup and handle is. It looks like that's the pattern that we're going to start forming in. And that is a bullish pattern. So cup and handle, okay? Cup and handle. Remember, so this is what a cup is. A cup is like this, a handle, and then goes up. So basically surpassing that level right there, going up. So if that's the pattern that looks like it's going to start forming, then we're in good standings, dude.
And so they started giving him morphine in Ativan, and I turned him over and I rubbed his back and I said, I love you. And he said, I love you. And I said, you're going to go now. Okay, you can finally be at peace. And he said, ooh. And then he took his last breath about 30 minutes.
Right, so look. So we have the zoomed out chart right here. So you can see right now it's kind of forming that. So we have a double bottom actually right here, guys. This is the double bottom as it reached that earlier right here. So we can see before it went down. So as you can see, 1, 2, okay. And it looks like it's reaching that level again. So I think this is going to be a slow mover up as we get further into the market open. We're already now about what, 2 hours in, 2 hours and 18 minutes. The volume starts to really go down. So any of these stocks that you guys are looking at, and if you're already green by a decent amount, I would suggest you just sell it. If you're waiting for a home run and it doesn't get to your level, you know, then you're going to hold on to it for a little more. If you're green right now, then, you know, I don't know what to tell you, man.
That people are left with, that people know
Just sell it.
about what your family has gone through and what you'd like them to take from this.
So, look. Yeah, so, like I told you before. So, this is W. You got in right here. Okay? So, definitely, you can see here, this is the level that it's having a hard time breaking. Okay? So, as you can see, it came close to it right there. And so, yeah, so I think it's going to go there. I'll wait to the trigger there. I mean, that's a... So, what is it? Okay, so it'll give you a $2, $2, yeah. I mean, that's fucking great. $2, man. Build up your capital by little, you know. Best thing about trading large cap stocks is that they have these huge upswings. You know, DraftKings is not necessarily a large cap stock, but it is a great company. So. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I'm going to go for a quick jog before I got to head out of here. For those of you that made money, that's awesome. I can see you guys right there in the chat room on Twitch. I had a few texts come in saying...
Nobody cares. And so you have to care. You have to.
I didn't see this one go through. So, what was it? It was Zoom.
A TV screen, but please know we do.
422 and 429. I don't know.
In your grief, I hope you
let's take a quick look at that before I sign off. So, let's take a look at Zoom. I have Zoom on my chart here. So, let's see Zoom. So, is the trigger for Zoom? Your trigger is 422 and 429. Is it too high? Let's take a look at it.
At SelectQuote, we aggressively comparison shop highly rated companies to
You know, is there any news on this that came out today of why it dropped?
Give your family the security they need at a price you can afford. SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
William Blair analyst behavior survey on Zoom, weakness notes, buy side.
Just getting through the day. Australian Dream back pain cream with the FDA approved active ingredient histamine.
So Zoom had their earnings yesterday and they beat earnings and it's selling off. So as we know it, that's what it does. You know that's what that does. I don't know why. It's insane. You think because they beat earnings they'd go up. So I want to take a look at the 4-hour chart. I want to see. So let's see how far away your trigger could be from where this is at. So if we take a look at 422, where's 422 or 429? So right there.
And speak to a licensed Humana sales agent to see if you qualify. Learn about plans that could give you more healthcare benefits than you have today. Depending on the plan you choose, you could have your doctor,
422.
and prescription.
So 422 of where it's at now.
A company with nearly 60.
Yeah, it's not gonna hit it today. That's for sure. That's for darn sure. I think it'll go to maybe like I mean, this thing sold off massive today. I mean, look at that, dude.
Vision and hearing coverage.
How far down did this thing go, man?
Rides to plan approved locations. Home delivered meals after an inpatient hospital stay. A monthly allowance for purchasing.
So from 434 to 412.
Everything from over-the-counter medications and vitamins to first aid items.
That's a massive drop.
Best of all, if you have Medicare and Medicaid, you may qualify.
422 is the possibility that it can go. This is a heavy mover, so I do think it'll go to 422. It could possibly hit 422 today. It's definitely a possibility. It dropped like $15 from the open, so it can definitely do that. Seeing that this is the current level of resistance, which is what, 425. It looks like it tried to break that a few times, 425, and then it just couldn't. Just like our DK&G player, which looks like it's starting to go back down. Actually, it's going back up. Beautiful. So back to your Zoom question. Yeah, so back to Zoom. Let's see. Zoom. Okay, so as you can see, this is the problem with after 8:30. After 8:30, actually after 7:30, realistically, this is what happens. The stock just goes sideways. Some stocks go sideways, some stocks go up, and then some stocks will go down, but mostly sideways. This being a big hitter.
Shop safe with PayPal. Get started today.
From coast to coast, from the Great Lakes to the Gulf. Expect some reach. We make local business.
I don't know where you bought it at, to be honest with you. I don't know how much money you're looking to make off this. If you're looking for a conservative hit, depending on where you got in. So let's say you got in this area right here at 412, right? And it looks like 412. Looks like 417 would be a realistic, more of a price target would get if you want to get it today. If you want to get a home run hit, 422 is definitely in the range of that. Now, there is no more bad news. You got to remember that this stock is purely off of the COVID vaccine, or the COVID, I should say, not the vaccine. So if, the closer we get to the COVID vaccine coming into fruition, this thing could just go down, man. So again, I don't know how much money you're intending to make on Zoom, but I don't know where you got in, so I'm going to assume you got in at the 415 area, around here, 415, 416, around there, and you want to reach 422. It could definitely do that. Today, though, I don't know if it'll go today. It could. I think the highest it'll go back from this extreme low is like 418. I think that's what it'll do. So I'm gonna put a trigger here just for curiosity. See if it reaches that. So, and then one at 422. So I'll go ahead and do that because that's what you're wanting to do, right? So,
irresistibly smooth chocolate.
My advice on this mofo would be, if you're going to make a profit, you want it today, sell it at 417, 418. if you want a home run. Again, I don't know where you bought it at. So if a home run for you is 422, that it can possibly go there, because there's nothing telling me that it wouldn't, unless some extreme bad news broke out. This stock is tricky though, man.
All while fulfilling essential energy needs.
Right. So
We can keep the US the world leader in
let's go back to our DKNG.
See how America
All right. Looks like it's going back up.
Attention everyone on Medicare. Did you know that right now is the annual enrollment period for all Medicare recipients? Everyone on Medicare is encouraged to call 800-882-0.
I'm gonna shut this off in 3 minutes, guys. It's been amazing having you guys follow me. Very few. There'll be more later on, but you know, just with the few crowd that I have on Twitch, being the majority of you that are watching. So, you know, we went through the whole support and resistance thing. As you can see, it plays an important part. You can find that support and resistance, that strong level. You look at previous day's actions, you can see that DKNG is looking like it's going to repeat from what it did yesterday. It's not going to go as high as it did. I don't think it's going to go to 52.65. I think it'll barely hit my trigger, to be honest with you. But I'm liking where I came in at. The setup was perfect. I mean, you couldn't get any more perfect than that. I mean, it was picture perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and show you again real quick before I sign off of what I did. So you see this massive sell-off here, okay? I was looking at my lines. I was looking at the RSI as well, seeing that it was already at oversold as soon as it opened, and then I just waited for that to basically come back up. So you can see the divergence on this. Okay, so it's on oversold on our RSI, and it was there for quite a minute, for about 5-6 minutes. It was there. So then we got in. Because of this price action, support was right there. Okay, and then we could have sold it right there around here. This would have been perfect for a base hit, but you know, I wanted to see how far it'd go, so we come back up. Let's go back down to support. We could have sold it right there again. So you can see that's the level that we're trying to reach at right there, because it's having a hard time passing that. So I do think that it'll eventually get up to that point. If I can sell it today to that level there, I'm gonna raise the bar, being it'll be a swing trade. So we try to avoid the swings, but if it's gonna be a swing trade eventually, because it doesn't reach our level today, it did reach it. I should have sold it at that point right there for a base hit, but you know, seeing that DraftKings has nothing but good news on it, I don't see any reason for this to keep going further down. I think this is going to continue to go back up. I really do, at least for today. So I do think today it'll probably reach where I bought in at. Maybe it'll rally up near the end of the market. Maybe it'll go back up to 51.99. I want to sell it at 52. What I want to do. So I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. I'm just going to change this trigger to 52. Even. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. I'm going to put it right here, 52. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do, guys. So you guys made money. Awesome for you. Those of you that are holding on to a stock to reach to a certain level, just know, hopefully you did your homework of where it was. The price action, the news, all that stuff, price, support and resistance is very important. So we're looking good. You know, just this is how it is. You know, that the setup was great. We could have got out right there. It gave us multiple opportunities to get out at that same price, but because it was about 2-3 cents away from when I actually wanted to get rid of it, I stayed in for a little bit longer. So actually a lot longer. So this might be a swing trade for me, guys. I'm going to leave my sell trigger right there where it's at. It definitely has the potential to do that. As we can see, if we scroll back to yesterday, as you can see, my sell trigger is right there, guys, from yesterday. Right there. So it's definitely in the mix. So I can definitely do that, being that it's in between resistance and the average right here. So if it doesn't do it today, guys, it'll do it tomorrow. I do have capital for tomorrow as I split my money in half. So I can continue to trade. So we're not that far down, guys. We're only about $6 in the red right now. So we're good. So we're far away from where I would sell that for a loss, and we're very close to where we want to sell it at to make a profit. So we're doing good, guys. We're doing good. Your W. Okay, so I gotta sign off, but I'm gonna look at your W real quick. Where we said it was gonna sell. Let me go ahead and take a look at this real quick. Where is it? W. So we did say, yep. So perfect. You see, so it did reach that. So yeah, so sell it there, guy. Right there, yeah. 24. Sell it right there at 24, 247.27. I think that's where it's going to end up going. I might pass it. I think I'll definitely pass it. All right. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. I'm going to get everything ready to go. I'm going to go for a quick jog before I have to head out today. So that's where we're currently at, guys. So right now we're about $8 in the red. Just having a hard time struggling to get back to where we bought at. We could have sold it earlier. So because it tested it already a couple times, there's no bad news on this stock at all.
For putting the fire under these agencies to say, yes, we want a safe vaccine. Absolutely. We also want a fast one.
Nothing but good news keeps breaking out on this. I think this is just short sellers, to be honest with you, and profit takers from yesterday. Bag holders. This is why you don't become a bag holder, man. So you know you don't fuck over people like me. It's alright. So it becomes a swing trade. So if it's gonna become a swing trade, guys, if this doesn't reach my mark for today, I'm gonna hold on to it during the after hours, and then I'll just up that up to maybe 52.25, maybe 52.45. Or 52.53, giving me a whole dollar of an upside. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna leave my trigger where it's at, guys. So those of you that made money, fantastic. The market is green. Everything is green, guys. The heat map is green. Take a look at the heat map real quick. Let me just go ahead and pop this up for you so you can see real quick. Take a look at the heat map. The heat map is green, folks. It's awesome. Okay, so not worried one bit on this stock, man. So I'm gonna hold on to it until it reaches my level. It's not what we wanted to do. So again, in hindsight, I should have sold it right here after the third attempt. But since it's being 2 cents away from where I wanted to sell it, I held it, and we can see that that's not something you want to do. Okay. So if it attempts to reach that price right there, that level of resistance, you notice that level of resistance, then yeah, so that's when you want to sell it. So it looks like it's doing a cup and handle. So so you can see here on this chart here, so being that this was the bottom of the cup, and that this was the brim, and then now this is the handle. So if this is being the handle, being that it should go up from there. How far up, I don't know. So other than that, guys, we're good. For those of you that made money, like I said, awesome for you. That's fantastic. I'm going to sign off. I got to get ready to go for this mini quick jog so I can get my exercise in this morning. And everyone who made money, man, kudos. That's awesome. If you're swing trading something, see how far it can go. What's the potential? Is it going to go further up? Is it going to go further down? You don't want to say your trigger way up there, but a decent amount where you're going to make a decent amount of money that you're happy with. You did your homework on the price stock. You looked up on the charts. Everything told you that it's going to reach that level, and I think it will. All right, guys. So I'm out of here. I'm going to sign off. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I will definitely put in the chat room and Twitch, and also on the Underdog Champion chat room. If this holds for me today, seeing how I'm going to sign off, and I would just do a recap. So hopefully that does for me today. I'm not worried about it one bit. If it doesn't reach my level today, I am going to sell it higher tomorrow and make more money. And then we can trade again tomorrow for looking at a different stock, or maybe just down. Maybe we'll just go ahead and double down on this one. I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right, guys. Have a good one. 243 days between the time Pfizer